him.
With coffee
And
stains.
once in the movie, once they mention anything about weapon, the thing said you have the weapon or something.
Mm-hmm.
They translated like everybody went dark because they
Right.
said that all of them had a weapon. They're like, oh, we got a weapon, and like everybody went dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's every country is in it for themselves, and even if we got attacked, I don't think it would be some Independence Day shit. I think it'd be fucking. It'd be horrible.
I think it would give the mouth breathing fucktards that live in Tennessee a reason to hate something other than a Middle Eastern
race.
dude.
Yeah.
You know, honestly,
we could all unite
thing.
in the hatred of another species.
Right. It'd be like a temporary thing where we all hate the Greys or whatever, and then
Right,
hopefully we we get rid of the Greys, but we would then go back to fighting over like who gets to use this technology to build with stuff like that.
now what makes you think? I mean, these things they possibly could have been around for tens of thousands of years. We just have the technology now to really see them, observe them.
Well, and to
ancient astronaut theorists believe
those
that they have been here.
Do the ancient alien theorists believe that
Ancient astronaut, dick.
Yeah, they're ancient. Yeah, you gotta say the astronaut. Yeah,
the ancient astronauts? Do they believe
don't
that
disrespect my show?
That God and Jesus could have been a manifestation of, like, religion started actually as a manifestation of.
No, they pretty much say he was an alien. Any kind of religious figure, they pretty much they pretty much just say he's an alien.
Any person.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Benjamin Franklin, fucking alien.
Fucking alien.
Yeah.
Who else ties a fucking key to a kite to get electrocuted and survives?
Right.
Alien, bruh. Alien, bruh.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting if
they
Jesus
kind of
came
have
back.
to tie everything to being an alien, though, don't they? Because isn't that the whole point of the show?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just watching that crazy guy with the crazy hair. That's really
They don't want to let
Nope, Facebook bullied him into cutting his hair.
Oh, come on.
Did he really?
Fuck?
I know.
Yeah, he doesn't have the weird fucking.
Aw.
He's got the same sort of kind of hairstyle, but it is a lot smaller.
He's great.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
Fucker.
Tasha says, Tasha LePage said that Project Blue Book resurfaced.
Yeah. I mean, Project Blue Book? What's that, Ashtray?
Oh, if Jesus comes back, well, how would we not know Jesus wasn't just an alien? Because you're going to have a certain number of people.
I think you might tell us.
Well, I think that's part of the problem. If like religion, I think a lot of people, and I think that's the problem with humans. We think for us to think that we're alone in this huge ass galaxy. One, for me, would be extremely disappointing because there's so much wasted space.
Yeah, it's pretty egotistical too.
And it's so egotistical to think that we're all that's here and God put us here.
Sure,
I mean, when it is discovered, I don't think we're alone. But when it is discovered, I think it will fuck up a lot of religious shit. And it'll cause. It'll have
cause
a
an
bad
existential crisis.
Yeah, it'll have a bad effect on humanity.
It proves that God doesn't exist.
Right.
Well, plenty of them are going to be like, God created those aliens too.
Maybe they're waiting. Universe. Maybe they're waiting for enough atheists.
Waiting for Trump to die. Well, the shit's fucked up for a while, boys. Let's just wait.
Don't say Trump and die in the same sentence, dude. We're going to get shut down. We're going to get shut down right now.
Yeah, my son's asleep. I don't want to get my door swatted, my house swatted, bro.
Get canceled by Trump.
All right. So there you have it. You heard it here first. So in 10 years, when they actually confirm fucking aliens and they can't deny it anymore,
you
heard it here first.
Right report, Tommy. I didn't even know what aliens were.
Have y'all seen that movie where they were kidnapping kids? There's one alien was doing experiments where they're kidnapping kids to see if their mother, and erasing their memories of everybody to see if the mother remembers, and one mother remembers, and she like tracks him down, and she finds this government guy, and she's like, "Why do you let them do that?" And he's like, "We can't stop them. They're so technologically advanced." Have you ever seen? I can't remember the name of that movie.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It was. I got high one day and it came on. I was watching. Like
that sounds interesting though, where it's like people in the government.
He was probably just super high and watching like a cooking show or something, and like
he's imagining all this shit. Anyway,
nope, I'm gonna find it. You motherfucker.
So until we do meet aliens, we found a company that can insert memories so that you can believe that you met aliens.
All right, so we're gonna listen. Ashtray.
I don't remember this movie.
Up.
All right,
yeah, shut up, Ashtray. Mute yourself.
Abduct Inc., your personal alien abduction memory implantation service. Have you ever wanted to know what it was like to have a Klingon battle rifle shoved up your ass?
Oh God, it hurts so bad.
We can make that happen. Bride says that you can't go to the strip club? Well, we can arrange to have the future hubby abducted by the women of Amazonia, where sexual assault against men is just a misdemeanor.
No! No!
And you thought Ronda Rousey was tough. Have you ever wanted to know what it would be like to be the pivot man in a Wookiee circle jerk?
There's so much cum. Oh my God, it stinks. Jesus Christ, his hair in it. Like somebody ground up a cat.
Make sure you bring a towel. These are just a taste of the myriad pleasures awaiting you across the universe. Abduct Inc. Forget yourself. Get fucked in the ass by E.T.
That was pretty good. That wasn't bad.
I'm guessing Ashtray wrote that one.
I think Ashtray actually did the Wookiee. That sounded like Ashtray.
Yeah, I think that was my Wookiee.
That was pretty good.
You know, I can do a good cum guzzling Wookiee.
Wow.
All right,
that's what he said.
So we're moving on to the What's Sexy portion of the show, where we tell you what's fucking good in this world. First up, we have Mystic with The Watchmen.
Hello? Are you there?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, cool. So The Watchmen is a comic book, obviously, if everyone doesn't know.
Obviously.
I think everyone does know. But, I mean, whatever. It started as a comic. I've never read it. I saw the movie when it came out. But the show on HBO that they just came out with is good.
Dude, thank you for that.
Check it out.
Dude,
yeah.
Dude, first off, thank you for that honesty, because that's awesome. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm not going to judge people who have read it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out and read it. But the show is good. You know what I'm saying?
Looks cool.
I wonder if it's written by the same people from the comic at all. Scoozy.
No, I'm pretty sure it's written by Damon Lindelof.
I have no idea who that is.
All right.
Well, keep going, and I'll look him up, and I'll tell you. I know he's famous, but I don't know what for. Because I'm high as fuck.
Next up, we have Ashtray with Breathe Right strips.
You guys ever use the Breathe Right strips?
No, I snore, so I was thinking about using them because I snore to see if they help out.
Yeah, I don't know how they work for snoring. I know they do claim they help. But man, when I get like severe sinus congestion this time of year, it's like you use the neti pot all you want. There isn't really like much up there. It's just that tissue is actually just inflamed to where you can't fucking breathe. These little fuckers make a difference. Surprisingly, it just has some little thin metal bars in it. Mm-hmm. And a really strong adhesive. You just got to make sure you clean your nose really well and dry it off, and you can sleep with it in. It feels like it literally just helps pull some of that tissue apart, and it seems minor, but it's noticeable improvement, especially if you got allergy issues. So, and this one is Scratch and Sniff with menthol flavor.
Wait, if it's Scratch and Sniff, why does it have a flavor?
Scent?
It's a menthol scent.
Okay. You said menthol flavor like you did.
I know I
That's
did.
all I'm asking.
I was thinking like menthol like cigarettes.
Good for the sinuses and the breath.
Yeah.
Pop.
Right? If you can lick your nose.
Anyway,
that's it.
Damon Lindelof created Lost with fucking JJ. Wrote Cowboys and Aliens, Prometheus, World War Z, Star Trek Into Darkness, Tomorrowland, and The Leftovers, which is a very underrated HBO series that I think is probably one of the best front-to-back stories in any television series ever created.
Damn.
It was a fucking damn good show. That's probably why I like this. Now that I think about it, it's very similar.
What was the gist of The Leftovers? I remember hearing that name, but I can't think of what the show is.
It's something happens where half of the fucking world just disappears.
Oh, okay.
Or not half, like a percentage of the people in the world just disappear.
Gotcha.
So like
Thanos.
It takes place in the aftermath of that, and like all these religious groups start up and shit because they think it's the fucking reckoning.
I think I remember you talking about that one. This was a while back though, right? Like 5 years
it's been a few years since I've seen it. It's been 2014, I think, is when it started. It was only 3 seasons, but that's all it needed to be. It was a good story. Anyway, go ahead.
Right on. Next up is me with The Outer Worlds. So it's a new game that just released on Game Pass and other platforms, PC, PS4. It's made by Obsidian.
Do you only play games you don't have to pay for?
Well, fuck
Cheapskate.
yeah.
All right, I'm just asking, bro.
For someone who uses Groupon, that's a dumb question.
No,
true.
no, I'm not.
Touche.
Look, I'm cheap. I'm cheap with life, not my video games.
What is it?
Cheap with life.
So this is made by Obsidian, the people that made Fallout New Vegas. And it kind of has a vibe with that. It kind of has a Fallout vibe to it.
Fallout in space.
Yeah, but it's definitely a different tone to it. So Fallout can be pretty bleak. You're just, in the fucking aftermath of fucking, some desolate area. Whereas Outer Worlds is kind of like a colorful space thing. You get your spaceship going, you're kind of going to all these different places, you pick up party stuff. I really like the writing. The dialogue is extremely good. Something that I wasn't expecting is the shooting is actually reminds me of Borderlands. It's really good. It's good, man. You get some good guns.
How? It looks almost like a Borderlands type.
It really, I'm liking this game a lot because Borderlands is cool to me until I get to my, 10th gun variation and I'm having to keep track of fucking all that shit and the writing is fucking dumb. Whereas this has clever writing and you have some of that loot stuff and you have some of the shooting, but it's not like complete. It's not a loot shooter. So it's kind of like somewhere in between. It's accessible.
Yeah, that always kind of dragged me down with like Borderlands. I couldn't play much longer. I was like, there's just so much shit you got to pick up and keep track of and combine. And,
right. Like, God. I can do that.
You really don't have to do all that in Borderlands.
Yeah.
That's why, you have so many gun choices. You can just throw so much shit away. You'll still be fine.
Right.
If you want to nitpick every little fucking thing, then yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just don't want to deal with that.
Nitpicker.
But this is good. I'm liking it a lot. So if you have Game Pass, you can play it for free. Which is a good fucking deal.
Game sucks.
All right.
Game sucks.
Next up, we have Teddy.
I didn't like Fallout New Vegas, so I guess that's kind of a...
Right. We have Teddy with Bitch Gets Banned.
FaZe Jarvis. He's a YouTuber who plays Fortnite, the gayest game alive. He's been banned for life from that game because he was caught cheating using aimbots. Yeah, he was using aimbots. And this stupid motherfucker, he posted a video of him openly using aimbots on YouTube by accident. He ended up deleting it. That's how he got caught.
How does an aimbot work?
it's a little cheat that it automatically once you hit somebody, it automatically tracks them and follows them. So all you have to do is shoot.
It's literally in the name.
Well, I get
a fucking bot that aims for you.
I know that, but I mean, like, is it something you got to do on the PC, or like, how do you?
It's only
I don't think you could use that on the Xbox, could you?
No, you can't do it on Xbox or anything else, but you can't do it on PC.
Okay.
And my what's sexy about this is fucking, if you're gonna cheat, do it in a game that's not multiplayer. Because it's fucking it's
because the computer has no feelings.
Right, pretty much, yeah. You want to use a Game Genie on a Nintendo or something? It's fine. But if I am paying money for a service and a game, and you're coming in and you have to cheat to win at it, it fucks up everybody's experience.
Oh yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
I'm surprised that they can't tell if you're using an aimbot or not on the servers. Like. You'd think there'd be some sort of a giveaway.
Well, I think they you can report somebody, but also they will go through and they will say, oh yeah, we banned fucking 6,000 people today, because they catch up, and then it's kind of like an arms race. It's like, okay, now we're a step
so they
ahead.
keep trying to find sneakier ways to do it without it giving away something traceable,
right? Which I don't know.
My thing is,
you gotta just be a fucking dick face to do that.
Well, I mean, he had a lot of followers in this Fortnite game because people thought he was that good. He's still claiming he's that good, but I mean, after using aimbots, who's really gonna believe the kid? I mean, I won't.
So was it a video he openly talked about it, or?
It didn't say it. He just said he posted a video of him openly using it. So I don't know if he was talking about it. I doubt he was talking about it because he didn't want to get caught.
Dumbass.
Well,
but my thing is, I think this kind of streaming society that we have going on here, or streaming fad, where everybody is trying to be as good as they can to get followers and try to.
Hell yeah! Look at us here at the Red Eye Report. We the best, baby.
We're like the anti.
Right? We're the anti-aimbots.
Followers.
Yeah, it's true.
We actually use misbots.
Yeah, right?
I think this is part of the reason, and it kind of makes me wonder how
Travis Dressler is actually just a bot that spews out random facts.
Right? He's a
top fan.
He's an algorithm that's just gotten out of control. But is not bent on world domination. He's
you guys watch Silicon Valley at all? The HBO show?
No.
One dude creates a bot that responds. Like, one guy keeps messaging this other guy and he hates him, so he creates a bot to respond in a negative way every time. And the dude thinks that they're just like being dudes and like fucking with each other. It'd be like, I hate Carl. He's like, I fucking hate you. Oh, you're so funny. Fuck you. It's fucking great.
All right. You know what else is not so great? We're moving on to the fuck what you think. This is where we tell you to go fuck yourself in the ass and things that are shitty in this world. And we have Ashtray with cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Yeah, so I didn't even really realize this was a term until recently. But I think it's only because high schoolers have made it a term. And it's essentially just deciding you're going to boycott someone or something because they did whatever wrong or, wronged you in a certain way. It's just like...
They posted an Instagram...
They, yeah, exactly. It's like their Instagram was so deflammatory. And it's like, it's inflammatory, you dumbass.
Whoa.
Let me,
are you having a fight with your fake teenage?
You're having a fight with a fake teenager self.
Yep. I was just trying to share this picture. It's like, why it's not coming up.
God.
But, it's like the perfect picture of the kind of person who would be the cancel culture, almost like that trigger lib,
right.
Triggered lib meme.
The person that bullied you.
But yeah, all it is just like deciding, I guess there was like a whole horde of people deciding they were going to cancel Lizzo because one of her songs was on the chart, above Ariana Grande, but Ariana Grande did a remix with her, but that one wasn't on the top charts. It didn't give Ariana Grande any credit, and it's just like, even though Ariana...
Are you speaking English? I don't even really understand what you're saying.
Dude. Ariana Grande, tweeted out, congrats. It's like Ariana Grande didn't have even a problem with this, and it's just the way Billboard works. It's whatever version.
Okay, yeah.
It's the most
are you some secret super Ariana Grande fan? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Oh no, Lizzo for life. Bitch.
Okay, so this is dumb. And this is terrible, but when I was a teenager, I was fucking smoking weed out of fucking pop cans and doing other dumb
like
shit.
Everybody else was doing.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is more dumb shit that kids do. Yes, I don't agree with it, but also I think back about, how much of an idiot I was. So I can't really fucking talk.
Yeah.
I guess.
But there's, that Obama had a recent thing where he, basically scolded millennials that, you can't just go around pointing out everybody's flaws, and whenever they make some mistake or misstep or say something insensitive, and think that that's being woke and, you're making change that way.
Right. Yeah, it's fucking dumb.
Because they are just fucking... it's like the people when you go to the co-op, it's like you'll find those people that will argue about anything.
Right. That's when you punch them in the stomach.
Or headbutt them like you do in Matt. Then run away.
All right. Next up, we have Teddy. Stab.
Oh, you're not going to say the rest of it?
All right. Nigga stabbed over a chicken sandwich.
Oh,
you like that?
There you go.
Ooh, zero tolerance. Zero tolerance.
Ooh.
We need to fire Oracle.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, man, a nigga was killed over a goddamn chicken sandwich. This shit is getting out of hand. Do you say nigga 17 times in every show? Stop whining. Dude, so a cat in Maryland, he cut in line. Another gentleman took offense to that and stabbed him in his chest, then took his bitch and ran.
He took his chicken sandwich?
No, it was a woman with him. He took his chick and ran. Not chick and ran.
Oh, he took his woman with him.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's on a date to Popeyes.
Oh, my God.
Because you don't take that. You don't get in front of my woman.
So,
come on, baby, we gotta go.
He left the knife at the scene. The cops are still looking for this nigga. And my thing is, there was a line specifically for the chicken sandwiches, and then they were handling other shit at other registers. So this fucking, there are enough people in here to see this motherfucking. And if you were dumb enough to stab a guy over a chicken sandwich, you do not belong in society.
Yeah,
that's valid.
And most Popeyes are in the one Popeyes that I go to, it's in the two I know of in Nashville are in very urban areas. So I mean they're kind of like everybody knows everybody. I mean, why would you want, if this guy stabs somebody over a chicken sandwich, why would you want him in your neighborhood? I mean, he could stab you because you cut him off. Or
it's like a child molester. We don't want no chicken sandwich stabbers in here. Whenever Halloween comes around, tell them, don't you turn your porch lights on and stab someone for a chicken sandwich.
Look, I find out my neighbor killing people, I'm either taking him out before he take me out, or I'm calling the cops. One or two.
Well, I would hope if you stab a motherfucker over a chicken sandwich, you go to jail.
You're probably not mentally
These are just not problems that white people have to deal with. Like I said, you don't go to a Popeyes after 9 p.m. if you're white. I don't give a fuck. Dude, you'll get stabbed. It won't be over a chicken sandwich. It'll just be because you're white.
Go to a White Castle at 1 a.m. in St. Louis. Boy, that's a romp.
Jesus.
I went to White Castles by my girlfriend's house like 2 weeks ago, and there was a tranny working the fucking window. I was like, awesome.
Nice.
So,
nice. That's fine, man. Why you gotta judge?
It was weird. I was high as fuck, caught me off guard. I was like, whoa. Because
right. They do exist.
Oh. It was.
I'll take a selfie with you.
Nuts.
No, actually, it's like, wait, a tranny in Tennessee? Get out of here.
That's what I was just kind of. I was like,
he meant a transmission. It's a transmission from a 1967 Dodge Dart.
Right?
Yes.
Why aren't you taking my orders? Not
Taking
even moving.
orders.
Just rusted and leaning up against the till.
Right. Anyway, go. Sorry.
All right. Next
derailed
up, we
fast.
have me with Season of the Disease. So
What did you catch
That's
this
a
time?
good band name.
I didn't fucking catch anything because I have a solid fucking system, Teddy. I fucking whenever I feel
Whoa.
How solid is that system?
whenever I feel the disease coming on and I'm surrounded by fucking people sneezing and coughing and fucking boils exploding,
Ugh.
fucking eyes
What the fuck? Where do you work?
shooting pus.
Jesus Christ.
Well, these people that you're
people
helping
have
Rhode
probably are
Island,
not.
fucking
They probably don't have the
bars.
best hygiene, do they?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but if somebody comes in with a cold, I have my vitamin C packets. Fucking dump one of those motherfuckers in a cup. Fucking ingest that. If I feel anything beyond that,
Is it emergency?
it's the knockoff emergency because I'm not going to be
Can you
spending that
trust
money.
it?
Yeah, because that shit doesn't work.
It fucking works for me every time.
It does not, bro.
Dude,
Hey,
it works.
Teddy,
Overload-
if he
your
doesn't
body
get sick,
can only-
it works. I don't
Hey,
give a
I don't
fuck
get sick.
how it works.
No, your body can only absorb so much of a vitamin at a time. If you-
Don't, Teddy,
just 'cause
Teddy.
you're fucking loading it with
See
thousands
this?
of
This is a placebo fucking force field.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Whatever, as long as it
Well, he's
works.
got a point.
Even if it's
it works
yeah.
for him, it's gonna work.
Right.
It works.
If
It-
you
it-
believe,
I
Teddy.
can't say.
Motherfuckers
can
are
feel it
dropping
doesn't
like
work.
flies around me, and I'm running strong. So just want to put that out there. But season of the disease don't fucking come in if you're like dying and
Well,
you're
the people
obviously
you
sick.
help, they're
Well,
kind of
depending
on
on the
that
job,
lower
you can't-
pole of like keeping their shit together, right? So they're probably like really sickly, maybe a little unkempt.
Well, still,
Dude,
I mean,
it also depends on the job, man. I've worked in restaurants where
Well, that just means
you're like where you
I'm
have a
using that as a
cold.
stereotype that they're going to
We-
get sick
we
more
know,
often.
yeah, but we know how diseases work. We know how viruses work and shit. Fucking don't go somewhere and cough all over the place or fucking sneeze all over
Right.
the place.
Well, I mean, sometimes, like I said, some jobs won't let you do that. I mean, I've worked at restaurants where if you had a code and you shouldn't be handling people's food, they would still like you still got to come in. I mean, like,
Really?
Yeah.
you know,
Man,
yeah, oh
fuck
yeah.
it's
that.
like they
If you don't have a fever,
they'll
then
take
you
the
should
risk
work.
of you getting someone sick.
yeah
just
over
so-
over
Yeah.
over the
over
like
being
loss
stranded
of
for
a
shit for
hand.
minutes.
Wow.
Well, that's
I mean,
the
it's-
thing. Yeah.
It was like that when I worked at magazines.com. If you didn't have a fever, you came in.
Damn.
It's like you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
And I grew up that way
get
too.
a
Like I'm
doctor's note.
guilty of going in when I shouldn't. I
Yeah,
am that
me too.
motherfucker.
All right.
I think
That-
everybody
that
in the Midwest
Midwestern-
has. Yeah.
The Midwestern German, like, well, just walk it off. Go back to where
Yeah,
the
right.
was owned.
Fucking. Well, I got one leg left. Might as
Yeah.
well go in.
All right. Next up, we have Mystic with commercials.
So, I've bitched about this before, but radio commercials are just outrageously bad
Yeah,
nowadays.
they are.
It's like I heard one yesterday that was just a lawyer talking into his cell phone, and you can clearly tell
Mhm.
that it was him talking into his cell phone.
You hear-
So he had a voiceover dude do the intro and the outro, and then it was just him in the middle, like fucking, hey, I'm the best fucking, blah 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 lawyer. But you could totally tell he's just recording it in a conference room on his cell phone. Like, dude, if you're gonna advertise and pay that much money to advertise on the biggest station in Milwaukee, you should
Yeah.
probably put some fucking time into
Well,
it. Right?
and usually they will. Usually the station will bring you in. It's like
Mhm.
and use because for the
Yeah.
most part they've got.
You got to pay for it.
Well, yeah, I mean you're
You know
obviously
what I mean?
paying
You
for
could
the
just buy
ad.
the airtime and do it yourself, and that's what he's doing. He's trying to fucking save a buck, but
I see.
See,
Yeah,
your first
you need to spend a little
mistake is
more.
listen to the radio.
I still listen to the radio a
You
lot.
gotta listen to that.
I
Gimme
don't-
radio.
Yeah, I
So
don't
you
listen to
gotta
the radio.
listen
I use Spotify in my car or some
Oh.
other kind of music media. I don't listen to radio.
Yeah, I do the old find out what the hell's going on in the world, NPR in the morning on the drive to work.
While you're
what should I be enraged about today?
You're the fucking cat fucking shepherd.
Cat shepherd.
With NPR.
No cats
It'll
anymore.
Be okay. All right. So that's
Hey, man, don't knock TED Talks, okay?
TED
Yeah,
Talks.
right.
Some of those are fucking stupid.
You there?
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
Right?
I'm dumb as hell.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
We
you
hear
die.
you.
Yes,
All
I'm
your jokes were
retarded.
lost.
0% financing. You know what I'm saying? Did you even hear that part?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No.
Never
That's why
mind.
we didn't laugh.
There's a dude that says it like 7 or 8 times in a row in a fucking commercial.
Ugh.
I hate that shit. Anyway, sorry, go
In
ahead.
the words of Mystic, we didn't hear you because maybe you should get some better equipment.
Ooh.
Touche.
Boom.
Touche.
Hey,
Paid for
man.
mine.
Fucking 0% financing.
0%
Don't get mad at me because I got sugar mamas.
Plural.
Sugar in-laws.
All right.
Brown sugar mamas.
In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Roswell, New Mexico. That's our
Yeah, get it,
show.
Roswell.
Don't
We're going to
pitch
be
them out.
here every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. We already gave up on Twitter, so don't worry about that one.
No, I've been tweeting. Fuck you.
You lying
Have you been tweeting?
motherfucker. You
Man,
have
You need to make the tweet share to our Facebook page then, so we actually know you're doing it.
How do I fucking do that?
I don't think that's how that shit works.
Your review is going
No,
to
I
be
think you can make your.
dependent on this shit, Teddy. You need to make sure
Your review.
that we know that you're working.
Exactly. Well, and I'm pretty sure with like with Instagram, when you make a post,
Yeah.
you can set it
Facebook
to share
owns
to your Facebook.
Instagram.
Oh,
Twitter and Facebook are
Yeah,
two
yeah.
fucking separate things.
yeah.
I really think we just missed
Okay.
the boat on the Twitter thing. I think
Well,
we should
fuck
just
Twitter. Anyways,
Fuck it anyway.
Twitter's where cancel culture.
I am not giving up, you son of a bitch.
That's fine.
Well, then send us screenshots because we know you can't Photoshop.
You don't have to send us shit. Nobody really cares. Actually. What the fuck?
like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down for
Nope.
whatever. I'm Oracle.
I'm Mystic.
This is the ashtray.
I'm sending screenshots. Fuck y'all. I'm Teddy.
Oh, see?
There you go, buddy.
And this is the Red Eye
Easy,
Report.
easy.
There you go.
Bam.
Get your dick.
report.
May I help you?
Charles Lee, sir. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've been asked to introduce you to the city, help you settle in. Oh, no need, sir. I've arranged for your bags to be delivered to the inn.
Are you by any chance John and Isabella's son?
One and the same.
Your commission is with Edward Braddock, is it not?
Aye. But he's yet to reach America, and I figured I might... Well, at least until he arrives. I thought...
Yes? Out with it.
Forgive me, sir. I had hoped that I might study under you. If I am to serve the Order, I can imagine no better mentor than yourself.
Kind of you to say, but I think you overestimate me.
Impossible, sir. This way.
Thief! Someone stop him!
Boston's quite a lively city.
There's all manner of things to see and do. Once you've settled in, I suggest you take some time to walk the streets. Who knows what opportunities you might discover.
Hold a moment. I need to fetch a few things before we get to work.
I'll arrange for horses while you do that.
Damned sprigs. This accursed city will be the death of me.
You seem troubled, friend.
That's because I am. Greatly so, in fact.
What's happened?
I was robbed. The old Balkan file. Though I've managed to restore what's mine, I fear it's ruined.
You mean the book?
This is no ordinary book. It's an almanac. The first I ever wrote. Benjamin Franklin, pleased to meet you.
Hatham Kenway.
You must be new to Boston.
Why do you say that?
You're still possessed of virtue. To stop and help an old lout like myself. I don't mean to impose, but you seem a spry fellow. Should you happen to find my missing pages, I'll reward you.
Look, I'm not sure if I...
It's all right, all right. If you have the time, hurrah. If not, no harm done. The thing is useless in its current state anyway. But should you somehow manage to restore it, you'll find me inside that general store over there.
Well, that was interesting.
I heard about that shit. You tell me about these pins that catch like 60 at a time or some shit. It's like, I was like, okay.
Dude, it's a big fucking deal.
Apparently, it's a bigger problem. I'd never heard of it yet, but yeah, these motherfuckers said feral pigs.
Feral motherfucking pigs.
We just impeached one of them tonight.
Yeah. I can't believe how many people like don't understand that. Like, he's not getting kicked out yet. Like,
he's not
because he's been officially impeached doesn't mean that he's going to be kicked out.
Yeah, but
like, oh my God, seriously, you got impeached? I thought it was only the 55th. You're not even paying any fucking attention.
It's not gonna be a fair. Like the Republicans have already said that it's not gonna be a fair trial.
Yeah,
pretty much. Pretty much, it's not gonna be fair. It's not gonna be a fair trial.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
They have all joined the line to suck the cock that is Trump. The mushroom.
That's how politicking works, man.
All righty. You ready?
I thought we're live already.
We are fucking live. We doing this? Okay.
Yeah.
On this episode of the Red Eye Report, we're talking about feral pigs. With me is Ashtray, the biggest smut-peddling hog of them all. Just look at him in his fucking pig glory. Next to him is Teddy, our resident feral human. He's been on the run from the testing facility for about 9 years now. We were supposed to keep track of him, but we're lazy as fuck and just ended up adopting him into our crew and playing Xbox. So
that's a goddamn lie, because y'all don't play Xbox with me, you bastards. It's a goddamn lie.
Quiet, or we're gonna turn you in.
It's a dirty fucking lie.
Feral motherfucker.
We also have the King of Bacon, Mystic. Let's just say he's looking forward to the pig apocalypse. And finally, there's me, Oracle. Grab your American machine guns and your helicopter pass. We're going hog hunting.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Hog hunting live.
I feel like I should wear a bright yellow vest and tell everybody I'm with the white people.
It's orange, man. It's orange.
We're good. Whatever, man.
You're not fixing a road.
I'm still gonna get shot.
You're hunting.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So we're talking about feral pigs or feral swine. Now, these
Ashtray, what are you looking at the camera like that for? I swear to God, he said swine, and you were like, you looked into my soul or some shit. You like stared right at me.
I gotta see them at replay.
With a grin.
I think the gummy's starting to kick in.
Gummies, you stingy bastards.
Hey man, if we could digitally send drugs, we'd all be stoned.
No, you can physically send drugs. You can put them in the mail.
Well, you're right. I'm seeing it now on instant replay, and I do look like I'm staring into your soul, and then I'm caught off guard when you call me on it.
Mail a brother some gummies. Shit, that's all it takes. Go ahead, Mister. Go ahead, Oracle.
All right.
So get the show on the road.
Feral swine are descendants of escaped or released pigs. So They were originally brought to the U.S. in the 1500s by early explorers and settlers as a source of food. So they would come here and they would take these pigs and just release them into the forest. And as they went through, they would just kill them and use that as...
introduce the species to cull. I guess, if you
No, these are different species than any other hogs. They're just wild, right?
So they're wild, but the thing is the feral pigs actually have mated with domestic pigs, kind of creating this super fucking adaptable super smart kind of ultra
grow
hog.
Really fast,
yeah,
too, because
grow super fast.
What you're saying is the T180 of pigs.
Pretty much. just fucking wait until I tell you some of this.
But I don't get it.
Shit.
But I don't get it because they're the same species, though.
Well, right. I mean, so why is it matter?
But
the wild ones are breeding the domesticated?
They're pigs, but like boars are not really the same as the domestic pig.
Right. And the thing is
different breeds of dogs.
When you take a pig or a hog or one of these things and you put it out into the wild, it adapts to that wild environment very quickly. And not
because they'll eat anything too.
Right. They'll eat anything. And it's not just physically or mentally how they're adapting. It's physically. They will physically change. So one of the things that's going on now is up in Montana and on the Canadian border, they're starting to have these feral hogs, which they thought would only be a problem in southern states where it's warmer and where they were traditionally. They're starting to have problems where these pigs are starting to migrate north. Yes. And withstand fucking colder temperatures because the pigs are breeding so quickly and adapting so quickly. They're actually they're growing more fur. And the pigs, get this, they make fucking pigloos or fucking little...
Pigloos?
Yeah, they make...
It's like a burrow that they dig in the snow?
In the fucking snow to stay warm enough.
That's ingenious.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it's fucking insane. So right now they estimate that there are 5 million feral hogs.
5 million?
Feral hogs in this country. And annually they're causing billions of dollars. So the official account was $1.5 billion annually. And this Dr. Nolte in the New York Times, who was interviewed for this, he said it's probably closer to 2.5 billion, how much damage they're creating. And some of these things can get massive. A Georgia pig called Hogzilla is believed to have weighed at least...
I've heard of that one.
You got a picture of that, motherfucker?
800 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a picture of that one.
Wasn't that one found out to be fake, though? I could have sworn the picture was fake.
Well, was he on roids?
Well,
pig growth hormones?
Nobody actually saw the thing, and they had a picture, and it was fake.
Oh,
yeah, but
Let me Google it. What was this called?
Hogzilla.
Hogzilla.
Yeah, let's see if you can find Hogzilla.
I bet you there's a B movie out there somewhere, starring like an '80s actor that no one's ever heard of since he first did it.
But so these things are pigs, and we can think oh man, fucking farmers. Obviously a big problem for them because like Ashtray said, they fucking eat everything, just tear everything up. They're fucking pissing and shitting in the water supply. They're, eating all of these different animals and endangered species. They've opened up these pigs and they found fucking sea turtle. It's just sea turtles inside of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Recently, a fucking in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, or I guess this one is back in the 80s, the late 80s. A fucking F-16 had just landed on the tarmac, And the guy who was flying it, who just landed it, saw this blur. A feral hog ran into the side of the F-16, caused him to veer off. He had to eject out, and the F-16 was destroyed.
He was just like still coming down the runway at full speed.
A feral hog did that. $16 million gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. I found a link there for Hogzilla. Turns out it was killed by Chris Griffin in Georgia, June 17th, 2004. And a lot of people, originally it was claimed to be 12 feet long and weighed over 1,000 pounds. And a lot of people thought it was a hoax, but I guess National Geographic Channel did a special in 2005 early 2005, they exhumed it and had scientists study it, and they confirmed that it actually weighed about 800 pounds and was between 6.9 and 8.6 feet long.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah, and it was.
But if you kill a pig that bad, I mean, are you really going to let the ribs go to waste?
The ribs? Teddy's worried about the ribs.
I mean, really, what's the point of killing it if you're not going? What's the point?
If you're going to go through the trouble of,
I'm right. You're going to go through the trouble of killing. Fucking,
well, okay. So
why not fucking make some? I want some of them Flintstone.
They might be tougher than domestic pigs.
All right, so
this is wild. This is a hybrid of wild boar and domestic pig.
You say that, Teddy, but the swine are reservoirs for at least 32 diseases.
Never mind, fuck them ribs.
Including bovine tuberculosis, brucellosis.
That shit'll burn off at 165. Ain't no thing.
No, you got to cook that shit at like 350 to make it burn off. Them the ribs.
There are reports that people have contracted hepatitis.
Oh yeah,
from eating it?
No. Yeah, from eating it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Listen to this stat here. Hogzilla's tusk one measured 19 inches, and the other one measured nearly 28 inches long.
So he was Snaggletooth. What are you trying to say?
Okay, so
that'll fucking rip you up.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
dangerous.
so there was the case where that woman was killed recently in Texas a few months ago. But really, the bigger concern here. So there's the big agricultural impact and environmental impact of these things just destroying all wildlife around them. But right now, around the world, countries are battling and trying to contain African swine fever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have these things that are rampaging around this country and they can't control how big these things are, and they get one of these devastating diseases, imagine what kind of a problem that is when you've got 300-pound hogs fucking carrying around some sort of plague that has made the jump to humans.
The one in China has jumped to humans?
It hasn't yet.
Oh, okay. Because I believe it's just the main problem is it's decimated their pork industry.
Right.
So, I mean, it could decimate our pork industry too.
Right.
We should be selling them more pork, but no, we got this fucking trade war.
And so these things can procreate very quickly. I'm trying to find the stat. It's insane.
Yeah. How many piglets can they knock out?
They can knock out
probably 8, 10.
They become.
I don't know. I've seen some video. I never was a hog farmer myself, but man, you see a lot of fucking piglets on those poor sows.
Open up hog season. You just have massive hog hunting parties.
And there are, but that is a problem.
It's not enough to keep up with.
It's not a problem to keep up with them. And the thing is people in areas where the hogs haven't reached yet, because it is like a big hunting thing. In Texas, you can go in a helicopter and fucking shoot pigs out of the helicopter with assault weapons. Like,
let's fucking go.
Right. But people want that in their own states, so they actually transport the pigs into their states so they can set up hunting.
That's just retarded.
That's retarded.
That seems dangerous.
That's very dangerous.
If you have the money to move the pigs to that state, why not just go to pay to go to that state and shoot in that helicopter?
Yeah. So each female is capable of birthing at least 2 litters a year of 6 or more piglets.
Damn. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
And I think it takes them 9 months to become sexually mature enough.
They have 1.5 litters per year.
That's it?
Yeah, it's insane. It's fucking insane. Like when you think about how quickly these things can actually spread.
So it's like every 9 months, yeah, like a human, they just keep popping out fucking piglets.
Right. So I'm gonna just play this popular video. This is of a hunter or a farmer who, there are all these farmers where they have to combat these hordes of pigs at night just to try to stave off, total destruction of their crops during the day. So they're using like NVGs, thermal scopes, using all kinds of weapons and shit. So let me bring this up.
Hey, by the way, there is a B movie called Hogzilla. Came out in 2014.
Awesome.
Nice.
Starring a guy whose biggest claim to fame was being a second-tier actor on the movie Casino. I was completely right. Just wanted to throw that.
Well, there was a lot of actors in Casino. What second tier actor was he?
I don't know.
All right.
Nobody remembers any of the second tiers.
He's the guy who got his head put in the vice.
I mean, you just see this endless stream of pigs.
Oh my god! I just see a still frame of hogs fucking right now.
Pigs
fucking in the mud.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Hogs fucking in the. Look at them.
Just fucking.
It's like, look at it. It's a goddamn hog orgy out here. No wonder they reproduce so fast. This is their night vision camera.
Yeah. In a gun, you'll see the
I was
scope.
gonna say that looks like a night vision gun.
Right.
Boom. Got him.
Oh, this one's got a crosshair.
Right. What this is nice and fun and everything until you have to do it night after night after night after night.
So this is their farm. They have to go out here and just fucking murk these motherfuckers because
they have to do it in order to protect their crops.
This is where I could totally understand the legal, like actual pragmatic use of suppressor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, put a silencer on that bitch, dude. They wouldn't even know.
Well, it's hard to get a silencer in almost most states. It's like only a few states you can get a license.
Right.
Good shot right there.
Right.
Pretty sure you get one off Amazon. So this kind of reminds me. Have y'all seen that movie Love, Death, and Robots on?
Yeah.
There's one of the scenes is the farmers on a planet fighting that horde of.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This brings that to mind.
Right. Yeah. So it's a big problem, and there isn't a good solution at this point. There's
firebomb them,
butterbomb them,
firebomb them.
Oh, firebomb them.
Napalm.
Right.
Smelling napalm in the morning, son.
Napalm doesn't affect crops, does it?
No.
And then one thing, I heard one guy, he was proposing poison them. Well, how is that going to be, when other shit eats that? And it turned out like the person, it sounds like a really bad idea. So
it'd be hard to poison them because you'd have to do like almost targeted where, you're setting poison out where they're going to be, but you can't leave poison out on like enough poison on a regular basis, or you're going to be killing all kinds of them.
It's like a deer walks by, they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and I mean, these things don't have any natural predators, and actually, they have been known to go after deer, too. They'll fucking eat deer.
They'll fuck the fucking deer up, they catch them.
Right?
Oh, I bet. Especially deer season, there's probably some deer that get lamed up, and they get winged by a bullet, but a little too bad where they start to get weak, and they're laying down, a feral hog comes.
Like a zombie movie. You don't have to worry about this.
I mean, it really is. So,
once the pigs taste blood, it's over.
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do we just like have some sort of fucking?
I live in a city, so I don't have to worry about it. But
maybe for right now, until they fuck up your entire food supply.
Well, it's one of those things too. Like I don't think feral hogs are going to entirely fuck up our food supply because we make such a huge amount of fucking food.
I don't want to go camping anymore, you son of a bitch. I mean, really, because I mean, we go out to some obscure places. I mean, like, what are the areas that these pigs are in? I mean,
what area?
I go camping. I mean, I go camping.
All right. Well, let me bring up a map for you guys. You can kind of see where they're at in this country right now.
The concentration zones.
I'm getting
as of 2018, this is the USDA's map here, so you can see when that comes up how prolific it is in the southern part of our country. But you know damn well somebody brought those pigs up, like the UP. See how there are counties up in the UP where the pigs are? Somebody brought those motherfuckers up there.
Right.
You fucking bastard. They are all over. They're all around me.
Damn, that is a good chunk of the
They're not even.
Yeah, they're all around me.
Got to worry about that.
Bastard.
That's cool.
It must be
all over
area.
California. Holy.
Yeah, right.
I bet you that area up in the UP, because that's that's probably one of those where they have the fucking pig loos.
Mm-hmm.
And but that part of the UP, like even just northern Wisconsin, like there's so much wooded land up there,
right?
Even if it is owned by someone, that like easily they could just find a niche. They probably have a whole fucking acres of fucking pig city.
Pig city, man.
Pig city.
We built Pig City.
That's what I call it. That's what I call it. That's what I call it. That's what I call Applebee's bar at 2 a.m.
But I mean, looking at that map,
looking at that map, I'm afraid to go outside in the dark now.
There are very few isolated spots on that map where it's just like one county. Like once they get in an area, they fucking lock that shit down.
Is that North Dakota at the very top there?
Is Tennessee the east part of? Is Nashville the east part of Tennessee, Teddy?
Like it's like middle east, whatever. I'm sorry, but middle east.
They're surrounding your ass then.
Yeah, pretty much surrounded by.
They're coming for you, dude.
Right? They would mix with country music. Like
coming for you, Bob.
Guess who's buying a smoker? Teddy.
Like, let's talk firearms for a second. Like, what's taken down an average sized feral pig? Would
I'm sure using like AR rounds.
A shotgun.
Skin too thick.
Shotgun.
So, I mean, you're definitely going to need. You're not going to want to hunt them with like a 9mm. You're going to want something more powerful than that.
But a 45 would fucking.
Oh yeah, 45 absolutely would.
Or a slug.
Right now, and actually, this kind of got brought into the conversation a little bit more because a guy from, I think he was from Alabama, he was. There was some sort of gun fucking thing, and he made a comment. Well, what am I supposed to do about all the fucking pack of feral hogs that shows up in my yard, occasionally? I need a firearm that can hold X amount of rounds, and I can fucking lay these motherfuckers out. And people were just like, what are you talking about, you insane person? But it's fucking true. Like, it really...
He's kind of got a point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 30 of the motherfuckers out there, you don't want to have to reload.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't know if that feral pig thing is code for school cafeteria in this day and age.
It's not even like fucking coyotes. It's like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all over the place.
There's like more than a dozen in this area just hanging out, eating fucking shit and fucking like an orgy.
Right. And
so you just want to watch the pig fucking?
No, I don't want to watch the pig fucking. But like, I was just surprised that there was 3 pigs having sex at the same time in that one video clip that he showed us.
You are just really hung up on that.
Well, the pig sex. I mean, really, who gives a fuck about the pig sex?
Well, it always reminds me of pigs fucking in the mud.
Fucking in the mud.
Pigs fucking in the mud.
But I really do think that there is I think those guys that are dealing with that shit should be able to get a permit and get whatever the fuck they need. Get assault rifles, get fucking silencers, because it's a big problem, and there are like hordes of these motherfuckers out there. So I don't know. That's where I stand on this. Like I'm
all for it.
You
man.
know, like get a fucking feral pig hunting permit, make them, demonstrate that that's actually what they're doing, and let them have at it. Because shit, it's a big deal. I don't know.
Somebody got to deal with them.
Right. Somebody's got to deal with it. If you don't do anything about it, they are seriously going to
It'd be interesting to see
take over the country.
Comparison with like white-tailed deer up here in the Midwest.
Right.
As far as what kind of
but population control for feral pigs is so much more important, because white-tailed deer don't go around eating fucking chihuahuas and shit.
Not only that, but they destroy the environment.
I guess I was saying, I wonder what the difference is as far as the reproduction rates. Because, we never seem to be. It's not like we're ever out hunting the white-tailed deer.
Well, deer they only have one offspring, don't they? I mean, typically.
Yeah, I think one or two, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe two, but
yeah, I mean that's not.
That's
12
true.
years.
Yeah, it's not like
fucking
5 or 6 on average.
Pigs,
right?
Yeah,
they're not 300 pounds.
Yeah,
making fucking igloos.
Big dum-dums. Big fucking, I want food.
Pigloos.
That's the problem, though, is they're not dumb. They're smarter than the deer.
I'm just high.
Yeah,
no, I get, but they're not. But I mean, come on, compared to what though? I mean, are they fucking as smart as a 5-year-old? You know what I mean? Are we?
Are they?
I get.
Are they an adversary for us?
Well, it's like they don't have opposable thumbs, thank God.
A 300-pound 5-year-old is kind of dangerous.
They have.
It doesn't. I mean, really, it doesn't.
I get it. They're super dangerous, but like that's what we have to put them down. Like, there's no negotiating with it. There's no like, hey,
right.
Come on, pig! Stop doing what you're doing. It's gonna bite your fucking leg.
I thought you were saying like, how smart really are they?
You can't put Frozen on repeat.
That's what you're saying too. They're like,
they're smart enough to be way more dangerous than any other animal, because other animals are like, fuck, I'm stupid, run away.
Right.
This pig's like, I'll fuck you up.
It's gonna size you up. It's gonna, fucking see what it can do. I think too, another big thing. It's like raccoons. Look at all the measures that are taken to keep raccoons out of fucking trash containers, and they always figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're smart little bastards. We can't
fucking adaptable cunts.
Right. And these things are the same way. So I think it comes down to brute force. Brute fucking.
Here's a video you got to share. This is actual 50 cal. Night vision shooting of a boar.
All right, put it in the fucking Facebook.
So right around the 42nd mark is
you put it in there?
Have you just been sitting here for the past fucking 2 minutes watching feral pigs get blown away in night vision?
No, not all the time. I mean,
you moved on from the pig fucking to the pig murdering.
I just thought, of course, as a gun. I don't want to say I'm a gun nut, but I like guns, and it's like, I know there's some motherfuckers out there who decide, you know what we need to do with these feral hogs? 50 cal. And sure enough.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that you need that, but it'll do the trick.
Oh, yeah, it does a trick, all right.
I'm pretty sure it makes it explode. Shit.
So the drone doesn't have the 50 cal on it, does it?
No, but the drone's kind of doing some aerial night vision of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But oh man, that hog's crocodile.
Well, that guy's got a silencer on.
No, that's not a silencer. That's because it's a 50 cal. Like you got.
Oh.
I highly doubt that's silencing.
Holy shit!
50 cal, but do you see?
Yeah, just saw like a huge chunk.
It's a thing explodes.
It's a 50 cal. I had a chance to shoot one in Atlanta for $50, and the guy I was with like, "You really gonna do that?" I'm like, fuck yeah, it's a Barrett 50 cal. Fuck yeah, I'm shooting.
Yeah, how much? $50?
It was $50 for 5 shots. I still got the shells. I should go grab one. Those fucking things are huge,
bad.
bro.
$10 a shot.
$10 a shot. Yeah, $10 a shot.
Oh my God, I just saw it.
Did you
Jesus
share it on our screen?
Christ,
What the hell?
splat.
I haven't seen it. That would have been
There.
Oh God damn! Like bullet, you see the bullet go through the pig and hit the ground in the back.
Yeah, right.
That's the fucking part about it.
Yeah, that thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well.
Yeah, that thing kicks less than like a scar that I shoot. It's fucking awesome.
So when we have to sign up for the fucking pig militia in 10 years to take these things on so they don't fucking destroy our country, I told you guys. I told you so.
You'll be on the front lines.
Yeah, wouldn't that be ironic if it's not? It wouldn't be it's not a zombie apocalypse, but it's kind of like a hybrid.
Yeah, right.
Genetically modified hog apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it reminds me actually. Margaret Atwood.
Stop with the pig puns.
Margaret Atwood.
So
she
easy.
had in her book, the Oryx and Crake series. They had these pigoons, which they were genetically modified pigs that we had genetically modified to harvest body parts from. And they were super intelligent, and they went feral, and there was a big fucking disease, and these things were kind of ruling the roost, and you didn't want to fuck around with the pigoons. And that's what this reminds me of. And Margaret Atwood kind of has a tendency to be right on things, so I don't know.
Yeah, she wrote The Handmaid's Tale, wasn't it?
Yep.
Isn't that her?
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn it.
God damn, that's a lot of fucking hogs. I kept watching this video. There's literally like 3 dozen
hogs.
3 dozen just walking through this field.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be so frustrating as a farmer, as a hunter. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to shoot this thing with a 50 cal. Yeah, I'm going to have a good time.
You're lucky if you take out 2, maybe 3 before they all scatter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you're dealing with that many, Jesus.
So there you have it. Feral pigs.
Travis said a 338 Lapau. What the fuck is that? That's a rifle, I assume.
I guess.
I don't know. He can tell us.
Tell us.
Assuming 338 is the caliber size.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on to the what's sexy.
Moving on.
Definitely not pigs fucking in the mud. Ashtray says gymnastics, open gym, back in session.
Yeah, my gymnastics gym where the classes got canceled because the fucking insurance company decided we're no longer going to insure adults.
Wait, you do gymnastics?
Yes, I've been doing gymnastics for years.
Oh man, that was great.
Because I want to see a tape of you doing a backflip or something, Rob. I just don't picture you putting your beard down and say, "Watch this."
Wait, that is the best fucking response I've ever. It's just this. Wait. Gymnastics?
Yeah. What do you do in gymnastics?
What I do in gymnastics? I work on my handstands. I mean, that's really why I started taking them. Yeah, I can do handstands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, handstands are hard to do. In capoeira, they wanted you to be as comfortable on your hands as your feet.
Handstands, like it took me. I mean, I've been going for over 4 years, and I just starting to get like it's more mental even than it is strength, and posture. But then their new insurer. This gym has been around since the 70s, and they're the only ones in the entire Dane County area that offer an adult class. And then the new insurance underwriter was like, "Oh, no, we're not going to insure adults."
What the fuck?
Which is stupid because you can sign a waiver and ski down a hill and run into a tree and die, but why can't I just sign a waiver so I can tumble on this padded floor?
Yeah, it's not like you're doing anything that intense.
I can roll around like a big dumb adult. And
40-year-old man did not need to be doing handstands and shit. You can bust a knee up.
So
bust a knee doing a handstand.
Anyways, we in the summer semester we kind of had our class all just some of my classmates have been going for 8-9 years, And so we haven't had class until recently. We just got an update like 2 weeks ago that they've got a new insurance provider, and now like they're Wanakee gym, which I've never been to, but they now have the adult open gym. So got to go with like 3 of my other former classmates and do gymnastics and stuff, which was great because like I can't do handstands in my apartment. And it's a really nice newer gym
like
too.
Against the rules or what?
I mean,
Well, no, I'll hit the fucking
and...
fluorescent bulb in my ceiling. Like,
is it that low, or are you living in the basement? What is?
Yeah, like I can touch in my kitchen, anyways. I can touch the.
But yeah, just find a wall and do it against a wall and like walk off the wall and try to hold it.
Just go outside and do it, dude. Neighbors won't care.
Well, in the summertime, yeah, I've done that a little bit in my driveway. I look weird, but I just put music and.
Mommy, the man next door is doing handstands.
This is the thing why people are like think because I don't put like I'm not bragging about it on fucking Facebook. So people are like, "What? You do gymnastics?"
No, you're bragging about it on the show.
Yeah, I'm bragging about it right now. The thing is, though, what was weird is they're like kind of busy, and there are all these fucking like young guys. Or it's like they look like they're just out of high school, if that, because it's like you motherfuckers can't even be like 20 yet. But they were there for the adult open gym, and they were like parkour. They were like parkour kids. They're all doing these
like fucking
crazy flips and shit and
flexibility shit though,
right?
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like they were really fucking good at what they were doing.
So this is what aging hipsters bitch about, huh?
Oh yeah,
gymnastics kids.
And the thing is,
the parkour kids, man.
Oh yeah, bitching about the parkour kids because me and my
back in my day, we just tumbled on a mat.
Me and my friends are all in our 30s, and we're like, boy, I can barely do a bridge. Oh fuck, it hurts, bitching about our bodies and whatnot. And then the fucking parkour kids, like. They're kind of in one section of the gym, and all of a sudden, like they're kind of horsing around, like play fighting, and then like, literally, there's I shit you not, there's at least like 8 to 10 of them, and they all look like they're maybe 18, 19 years old, and 5 of them just they take their tank tops off, and they're like, oh yeah, like fucking around, and it's just like Jesus Christ, like I tell my friend, I'm like. Man, I'm like, there's just too many inappropriate jokes I could say right now about that. And she's like, whoa, what do you mean? And I was just like, no, I just was in my mind. I'm like, man, that's some Teenage Mutant Homo Ninja shit right there. Like, who's like horsing around and
getting
stuff
a bro
with their
job,
fucking
man.
ripped bodies, and they're all like 18-year-old boys. Like,
ninjas.
Teenage Mutant
Heroes in a half shell.
All right.
Homo.
Well, thanks for sharing your gay gymnastic porno fantasy.
This is how bad it was. Is that actually at one point? This is how bad Homo Ninja got. Is that at one point they're horsing around and like 2 guys. They're all got the shirts off and they're chasing around another guy, and he's like, oh, like running away, and he jumps over this divider and stuff. And this fucking, like, dude, the big old adult. Coach has to come out and he's like, hey, this is the adult class, there's no horsing around. Like,
Jesus.
He had to scold them, and his kids are like, oh, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, what are we at the pool, like
their first day in high school?
Oh my God.
Kid school.
That's what I was like, that is some serious.
How dare you, junior high?
See, that's the thing. That's the problem with kids not just being blackout drunk all the time these days. Because
they run around,
they're trying to apply themselves and doing fucking shit like adult gymnastics.
Hey guys, let's have some kale and go do gymnastics.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just let the burnouts.
Back in the day, me and Oracle were fucking. By now, we'd have a fucking case down.
Right.
Snorted fucking 14 Adderalls and smoked some weed.
Just let the burnouts fucking go to their fucking.
Me and my classmate were both just joking about how, because this is it's later in the night. It's 8 to 9:15. It's like, yeah, we both had 3 beers in us before we went to class. It's like,
Who drinks in the
man.
yard do handstands? What is wrong with
Adults.
Oh man, this is great.
Not as smart enough. You don't go to that class to do
Oh
handstands.
man, I
Stop
feel
fucking
like
bullshit.
Oh, when
there's
you
a
can do handstands and you've
sitcom
had 3 beers in you, that's
somewhere
when
in
you know
this.
you're good.
This
like
is
doing-
like a Seinfeld episode.
right?
I don't.
Right? Like I'm
I
Kramer.
don't like doing handstands after I drink Gatorade. You had 3 beers in it. He's like, "Yep, here we go."
Oh man! All right, Mystic. What's sexy?
The Expanse.
The what?
The Expanse is a show
that sci-fi
was
show.
created. Yes,
Prime show?
Well, it started out on Sci-Fi, but now Amazon Prime, I think, bought it out or something.
no
I think
shit.
Sci-Fi canceled it, and you could tell because this season has gotten a lot better. They have the money to make it fucking look good,
Yeah.
and it just seems it's just a better show. Like the
Now, what
writing is better.
season is this now that it's on Amazon?
4. It's on
4?
season 4.
So it's 1 through 3 on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Pretty sure. But it's based on a series of books by actually 2 authors. They write under a name called James S.A. Corey. So it's like their names combined. It's a series of books that take part in the universe of The Expanse. And it's basically about this alien technology that creates portals to different parts of the universe, kind of like Stargate type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But set in a much more believable, like futuristic universe. So like in this world, basically, or we fucked the Earth up so bad that we sent colonies to Mars years and years and years ago, hundreds of years ago. And now Mars has basically seceded from the U.S. They have different technology than we do. Yeah. And there's a third faction called the Belters who lived even further out than Mars. They lived in the belt outside, mined shit for Earth. And now they're rising up and they want to be fucking known as a power too. So like these 3 factions are kind of fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this alien technology emerges and they kind of all have to like work together to like fucking.
So now the alien technology, is the alien technology a threat, or are they?
They don't really know. That's the problem. Like it's very kind of mysterious at this point.
So is it now? I guess is there an alien race attacking them, or it's just kind of like this alien ship showed up?
So far, they know the rings. These rings have shown up that are the portals. And all they know is that this ancient civilization built them, but then got destroyed by something. They don't know what destroyed the ancient civilization, so they're trying to figure that shit out.
Which could very well be a better civilization when they open the fucking portal.
But like
Sometimes
the technology
every
they have
time.
is super fucking.
That's why I
cool.
don't open portals.
Like so yeah, there's like Martian Marines. They have these technologically advanced suits that nobody can fuck with. Basically, they're like the biggest fucking powerhouse in the universe. Just cool shit.
So could a person just drop in on season 4 and be able to not watch the other ones and be okay?
No,
probably not.
You don't understand the factions.
Actually,
but like,
you know
I guess
what?
Seasons 1 through 3, are they still pretty good, even though they're sci-fi?
They are really good. Yes, they are really good. It's just when they get to the effects, you can tell it's a sci-fi show.
Yeah. Right.
As opposed to Amazon, and you could tell Amazon put some fucking money in it. And actually, now that you say that, there's a really good thing. It's like 10 minutes long. If you go on Amazon and you go to season 4 of The Expanse, it's the first thing on there. It's Kevin Smith Explains The Expanse. And he takes you through each season and explains it for like 10 minutes. And it gives you a really good idea of like what happened up to this point. So, I mean,
so you could watch that before.
Yeah. So if you didn't want to watch the first 3 seasons, this kind of like gets you up to speed, and then it jumps you into fucking what they're doing.
Okay. But you have watched all 3 already.
Yeah, I've seen all 3.
It's worth the watch. They're good enough.
This comes on Sci-Fi.
Worth watching the Kevin Smith Explains
it's on
it,
Amazon Prime
now. And then watching the first couple of episodes of The Expanse. I think you'd get into it once you had an idea what was going on.
Cool. All right. Next up, we have Safe Stations. I recently found out that
are these phones with a blue light on top?
It's not that. So I don't know how widespread this is, but in the city that I work in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, they have a thing where you can walk into any fire station in the city, and if you are having some sort of mental crisis, or if you are have like a drug addiction problem and you're looking for help, they have people there to help you out, and they're not going to just arrest your ass. They're going to fucking try to actually help you. And I think that is such a more constructive way of fucking tackling this problem with, fentanyl and all this bullshit that's going on out there. Because the numbers for fentanyl deaths are like, it's insane. It's like 95% of opioid fucking overdoses or some shit. Everything's getting cut with it. And I think the only way to tackle this is just not, fucking persecute people and make them afraid to get help, where they can walk in and actually, get help without worrying about being thrown into jail and fucking their lives up, fucking their family up, whatever. So they have people actually on call in these stations. They run shifts, and they're, professionals to deal with this situation. So I just heard about that today, and I thought that was a really good and constructive way of doing this.
Have you heard of the term reverse opium war?
No.
It's basically... The theory is like, because while this fentanyl is coming in, it's coming in through Mexico and Canada as well, and also just through the mail. Mm-hmm. But it is all being produced in China, and the Chinese government they'll like tell our ambassadors and stuff, and they're like, "Sure, see here, we've shut this factory down, we shut that factory down." Mm-hmm. Like they'll pay lip service to the fight of the fentanyl producers. Mm-hmm. But actually, in China, trying to make up for their 100 years of shame, they see it as a reverse opium war, where it's like, we're just going to continue to let this. It's like super, opium, that's killing us, and they're just not really fighting it on a governmental level. That's
a good point.
Interesting concept.
Well, in that case, they should send it over to the Brits.
Well, to the Brits for sure, but it's like they see it more as in like just taking down the U.S. as far as the West is in whole. I'm sure. I'm sure there's fentanyl in London too. But it's just it's an interesting concept to think about.
Yeah, and I do think that policies and stuff like that, it is starting to shift, and the public perception of the drug war is beginning to shift in this country. So we'll see what happens. But putting stuff like this together, the amount of money that you're spending to have those people on call is a drop in the bucket compared to all the medical fucking shit, all of the staff and everything that comes with
the ER and ambulance calls.
Right. So work people smarter, not harder. Next up, we have Teddy Frisky Dingo.
Frisky Dingo.
Okay, I've talked about this show before. It's coming up again because it's come up on my Hulu watch list. It just popped up, so I started watching it, and I ended up watching season 1 and 2. This show is fucking awesome. It's the people. It's done by the people who did Archer. The Pam, the voice of Pam's in it. It's a cool little. But it used to come on Adult Swim. You can watch it on Hulu or AdultSwim.com if you have the internet for free. It is a funny fucking show. Tons of one-liners. It's just so goddamn awesome.
So which one? Give it a try. Do you think this one is better than Archer?
I do think that Archer is better. This one got kind of weird and weak at the end of season 2.
Is it similar style animation, everything?
Oh yeah, very very similar. It's very a similar style animation, and a lot of the jokes from Archer came from the show. Like a lot of the first jokes from season 1 and 2.
Have you ever seen Archer?
Yeah,
I've seen Archer, some of Archer, but I haven't watched it.
Do you know the character Ray, the gay spy?
No,
He's the one that created Archer. He also created Frisky Dingo.
Oh, okay.
He's like the main writer too.
So did Frisky Dingo that predated Archer?
Yeah, it was before.
Yes, it did. Yeah, before.
So that's kind of like the proto Archer. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the jokes are about the same. The voice acting and the acting in Archer is better, I think. Like it's just the story.
Because it is a little they kind of go all over the place in Frisky Dingo. But it's the episodes are only 11 minutes. It's pretty for what they did with it, I think it's pretty fucking awesome.
Right.
It's a good show.
All right,
Check
next
it out.
up, we have migraines. That's me. Fucking Mr. Migraine.
You are a migraine.
You are a fucking migraine,
so, for whatever reason, around this time of the year, I will start to get migraines.
Is it because you hate Christmas?
It might be. Fuck. It might be that Christmas music actually triggers migraines. And
I mean, yeah. Why do they play the same songs from 1950? It's like nobody else did Christmas music ever. What the fuck?
So well, first off, do you guys fucking have experience with migraines? Do you get migraines? Or have had migraines?
I think I've had one in my whole life. I think
I've had only a few, but my younger sister had a serious migraine problem ever since she was a little kid. And I think it ended up really being related to that like TMJ problem.
What's a TMJ?
It's some sort of like weird tension with your jaw.
Lock jaw kind of.
Yeah. She actually had to go she had special therapy. It's not really braces.
Chick in Marshfield that had that.
Yeah.
It really apparently is like really helped.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That might be helpful for me because I feel like my teeth fucking hurt sometimes.
Yeah. Might be that.
Okay.
TMJ.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy though. Your vision gets like super tunnel vision. It's kind of like somebody flashed you in the face with a camera.
Too much junk.
And then you're just, oh fuck, your brain's all fucked up. It hurts. You feel nauseous.
Well, yeah, like with bright lights.
Bright lights are terrible.
Nausea, yeah, and it's like you're incapacitated.
Right. You're pretty much fucked up. Although I was
a gremlin?
Possibly. I need to be fed after midnight. So I was proud of myself because I had one of these yesterday where I started my day. All of a sudden I'm like, I'm like before class, I'm just like, oh, son of a bitch, here we go. All right, so I just start pounding water, fucking pounding fucking ibuprofen and fucking Tylenol. And I was able to weather it and not be like a total full-blown retard. I could actually, still run the class.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was a victory because normally, I just get totally incapacitated. I can't do fucking shit.
When's the last time you had one before this one?
Like 3 weeks ago.
That's frequent enough. Yeah, because my sister, her frequency was like she'd get one or two a month.
Yeah, and it fucking blows. So I might have to look into this TMJ thing.
You use Excedrin migraine at all?
I can't use Excedrin. I tried using that, but it makes me like all sweaty and weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because of the caffeine in it, maybe?
I have no idea.
Well, all it is caffeine, ibuprofen, and aspirin.
Well, Excedrins usually take headaches that's this big and make them that big. So.
Thanks, Teddy. I did get some blue light.
That's the scientific explanation.
Right.
Dude, that's remember commercials? I had headaches.
No, I don't remember.
I brought to you by marijuana.
God, hey, bro. Hey. I do get high off my own supply.
So I did buy some fucking blue light glasses because I realized that I look at the computer screens all the time. So I thought maybe that might be not helping the situation. But yeah, I'll look into this fucking tooth thing. Maybe I got to stop sucking so much dick. We'll see.
That's a good way to start.
Yeah. Create a lot of tension right up in there in the old jaw muscles.
And go with that.
All right, next up we have Ashtray with marijuana shame for a murdered college.
For a murdered college. Oh, should I say college student?
Oh.
This is that you probably heard about this fucking girl in New York, Tessa Majors. She's going to Barnard College, fucking swank, or I'm not sure if it's swank, but anyway, expensive college in Manhattan. And she looks just like my ex-wife when I first met her, except for she must be way cooler because she's like plays in a band and whatnot. Apparently, anyways, my fuck what you think is like not just that she got murdered, because apparently that she the suspect they've arrested is a 13-year-old. Yep.
What?
And apparently the second suspect who was supposed to show up to turn himself in, like hopped out of a car and took off, and he's on the run right now, and he's 14.
What?
So did he drive himself away, or did his mom take him? I mean, what the?
No, it sounds like at an intersection or something, he just opened the door and bailed. I have no idea. The one 13-year-old who's already been arrested, is of course his family's saying, "Oh, he's got no record." Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, yeah, he's 13. Like that's when you start maybe making a record if you're, robbing people. Apparently, from his testimony, him and friends were like, "Let's go rob people in the park."
Wow, man.
And yeah, so she got.
Are they both white?
13?
Are they both white?
The teenagers?
Yeah.
No, I think they're two black kids, I think.
Goddamn stupid niggas.
Obviously, they're not white, Teddy.
Yeah. I mean, in Manhattan, if you're knifing people in the park at 13, are you white? Probably not.
Well, when you think Manhattan, you think upper class. That was a good one, though.
You said that with enough conviction that I believe you.
That was good.
Yeah, I realized my
what time was she in the fucking park?
It was the thing is this park borders the Barnard campus. Like it's right next to the university. But let's see if it says when.
God damn.
She was knifed. But it was at night, I think.
13-year-old kids.
Yeah. And
should be out getting drunk.
Well, the thing is, she wouldn't give up. They put her in like a headlock or something, and she wouldn't give over any money. And so they stabbed her. And the 13-year-old, who they do have under custody, has testified that he saw, like, he wasn't the one who stabbed her, but apparently the other kid who did, like, he testified that he could see the feathers, the down feathers coming out of her winter coat. Like, boy, if that doesn't make a good fucking headline.
Fallen angel.
My fuck what you think is really rooted in the fact that the family had to publicly come out and chastise let's see here. It was the president of one of the local police unions, Ed Mullins, basically got on a radio talk show. So he's not a detective. He's not even like working the case. Granted, he has inside contacts to get more information than the average person, but he basically on a radio show said, "Well, what we have here is an 18-year-old college student who's at one of the most prestigious universities in the country. He's like murdered in a park. And from what I'm understanding, she was in there to buy marijuana." It's like, really? Like you telling me a rich white girl at a prestigious university is going to a dark park to buy marijuana?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Maybe.
I've
pretty weird.
I've seen people leave clubs with strangers they don't know to get in the cars to buy X from people.
Wait a second.
Sure,
isn't
the thing is,
weed
like,
legal in
marijuana, I
fucking
think
New York?
Marijuana's a hell of a drug.
marijuana at or in the university level of a rich university, there's people like.
Yeah, I thought marijuana was legal in New York.
Marijuana's legal in fucking New York.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was legal.
Well, then that's even more of a
right. That's a
outrageous...
fucking dumb fucking story.
Well, yeah, the thing is the family had to...
It's legal in New York? I didn't know it was legal in New York.
Maybe medical is, but I don't know if recreational is.
Yeah, let's go to Google.
Though, if medical is legal in that state, damn well a rich white college student doesn't have to go sit in the fucking dark park.
She could have gotten it from anyone in her dorm.
Exactly. My point being. And like, so these motherfuckers are like, oh, because she plays in a band. It's like, oh, she's on there to buy marijuana. You're not even one of the investigators. Like, the family had to publicly make a statement saying that, like, this is we're heeding the advice of the investigators that we shouldn't make any public comments until the investigation is finished, and so should you, dumb motherfucker,
cunt,
fucking dumb. What Ed Mullins?
It's not
Sergeant Benevolent.
Not legal.
It's not legal. It's decriminalized.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But a rich white girl in university,
which means that's even more evidence that they would have it in their dorm rooms because I mean they're rich fucking
everybody's gonna have that shit.
Right.
At a rich college, exactly.
All right.
So okay.
Now she might have been there buying cocaine.
Yeah, I was like, maybe she's going for cocaine or
you always go to the 13-year-old black kids for your cocaine.
Right. Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Got some of that white baby?
Some little kid in a playground or something.
Swinging on the jungle gym. Fucking
13 is not that old.
No, it isn't. It's kind of like, damn.
Small kid. All right, next up.
And also, like, are you too young to realize, like, how, like, stabbing people is for real?
Fucking Fortnite, dude.
Yeah, it's not Fortnite. Yeah. It's not Call of Duty. Oh, just do the melee.
All right. Next up, Mystic.
Okay, so I don't know what even to call this. Complacency, I guess. So like I work as an editor at a news station. Like everyone there, I mean, when you say talented editor, that's really kind of an oxymoron because we're just monkeys at this place. Like just news, it's just an assembly line.
Well,
but there are a few people who have an incredible amount of talent. Like for one, this Dave guy that works there, he is the special projects editor. So this guy does all the fucking shit that like we put up for competitions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like even like when Emmy nominations go out or people submit stuff for Emmys.
Yeah.
Dave goes over no matter who edited the package, unless it was like Mickey or like one of the higher ups that have been there forever. Dave always goes over it just to fine tune everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was looking up his fucking like with this guy because I'm like, man,
he's real.
He probably doesn't make that good of money. But then I'm looking, and this dude has 42 Emmys.
Holy
damn.
Fuck.
Yeah. He has a Peabody Award. He has an Edward R. Murrow Award.
Wow. That's like just the realm of news.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds impressive.
Edward R. Murrow Award is the highest award you can get in
Good night and good luck.
television.
Really? God damn, this guy's like a
Peabody.
fucking...
The Peabody is radio. It's the fucking Pulitzer of radio, basically. So he won that at a national level too. The Emmys are at the regional level, which is the Chicago, which is the third biggest. Mm-hmm. So he's going up against people who
working right in Chicago news and stuff.
Yeah, doing Chicago fucking shit. You know what I mean? And bigger. Say Indianapolis is lumped in there too.
Well, we all know their indies fucking bullshit, but Yeah.
Fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd be in a bigger market.
Does he got a lot of family here or something?
I don't know. I don't know his story. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. I don't know.
You know, LA, that lifestyle isn't for everybody either.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
That's
like,
true.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
nothing. I'm pretty sure like Wisconsin's nice, quiet. You can fucking
Right.
Nothing
Especially
exciting.
Milwaukee.
I
Just go
guess what
out,
I'm
fucking
trying
to
to
the
say is
bar.
how much money can this guy possibly make? Now, I don't know. He did say when I first started that he does freelance editing. So he might make more off of that. Than
I mean, maybe he's not a greedy bastard like you are. I don't know. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
But just with those awards that he's won.
Right,
I
he
mean,
can make a lot more money if you
go
need
to
to,
fucking
but he doesn't.
New York
he doesn't
or
want
LA
to.
with that. You're commanding fucking six figures.
He may do some video editing for advertising agents, like freelance
Right.
contract work for advertising agencies in the Milwaukee area.
Yeah.
He might be getting flown out to do Drake videos or something. You never know.
that'd be awesome if it was like, yeah,
you never know. You know what I'm saying?
He's like,
He actually made the latest Star Wars.
Yeah, right. No, it's just, and he's just good at what he does, you know, and that's
Well,
it's
it
cool
comes
to
out
see.
tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
is
does.
he also a decent person as far as like?
Oh yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah.
Nice.
We talked.
As nice was like someone's got those kind of words and isn't fucking elitist about
Turns
it.
out to be an asshole.
Right.
No, he's a really cool dude.
Do you have an Emmy? No, sorry, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah, right.
That's how I'd be.
That's exactly.
All right. Next up, we have
God.
Teddy, man arrested for feeding homeless.
Yeah, in Fort Lauderdale, a 90-year-old man, his name is Arnold Abbott. He's arrested. This happened in November. Was arrested for feeding the homeless. There's a law in Fort Lauderdale that was passed in January of this year. That people are restricted from camping, panhandling, food sharing, and engaging in other life-sustaining activities. Which is kind of weird. Weirdly worded, I think.
Heard about this.
I mean, I get that. I guess it's probably in the city limits, but I mean, what do you do about parks? You not have like picnics and shit in the fucking park. But anyway, this guy was arrested. He was arrested twice in 1 week for feeding the homeless. And I think when you can't, he said he wasn't going to stop doing it. He take the jail time or the fines, whatever they're going to throw at him. And when they asked him why did he do this, he said because these are my people and they deserve to be fed. He was arrested after handing out the cops actually that came to arrest him did actually let him and his organization hand out the food, and they handed out about 100 plates to women and men and women.
Damn, and then they just hauled him away.
And then they hauled him and his organization, the people's organization, away.
Remember?
And I think when you can't like a lot of homeless people don't want. I'm pretty sure no homeless person wants to be fucking homeless. And when you can't help people by just just feeding them, which is not, it's not giving them money to go do or buy drugs or alcohol, which is the worst thing they can do or whatever. It's when you just feed them, when you can't even, it's against the law to do that. That really makes me hate humanity. It's just fucked up. You can't feed people.
Yeah.
Well, they've been doing this shit for a long time because years and years ago, I remember Serge Tankian, and the lead singer of System of a Down, and Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine got arrested for handing out sandwiches to the homeless in L.A.
Really?
And it was because they didn't have a fucking food permit.
There was a recent thing, like in the Supreme Court, I guess, decided to not take up this court case where I think like the 9th District ruled that it's kind of like it's a basic human right to be able to camp. Because they're trying to fine I can't remember which city it was, but the police department was basically like giving out tickets to these people who set up homeless shelters. Anyways, think about how bad that's going to get. This is my grim prediction: is that Trump's impeached. We all knew that, and we all know in the Senate it's going to get kicked out.
That gummy's really kicked in. Huh?
Right?
We're talking about feeding the homeless.
We're talking about feeding the homeless. Yeah, let me finish my fucking
Why did you start off with Trump being impeached though? That's my thing. I don't understand
let him do it. Let him do
for a
it.
moment and listen.
Teddy.
Okay.
Trump is he's impeached. He's gonna get through in the Senate. They're gonna give it away, and he's gonna get reelected. And then when he gets reelected, that's when the economy is gonna fucking finally fall out because there's so many debt bubbles right now. Corporate debt is bigger than it was before the crash in 2008. Like there are so many of these factors that something's gonna give. And otherwise, like the Fed can only keep pumping money in for so long, and the interest rates are so low already. There isn't much that can be done, and it's going to be on his watch. And those homeless camps are going to explode, like Great Depression era.
Mm-hmm.
Homeless camps.
Feral hogs.
Hoover camps. They'll be Trump camps. Yeah,
feral hogs.
They're going to ride in on their feral hogs.
They're all going to have to move to Pig City.
Move to Pig City. Fucking mate with the pigs. I got a
fucking tent.
Fucking.
See how I brought that around, Teddy? All you had to do was wait.
Yeah, for a minute and a fucking half.
No, it took.
You could have just said. It took a minute to tell you. Just said, hey, because Trump's gonna fuck the economy up, and it's gonna be Trump.
We're already over time.
God damn it!
Oh, but I just can't stop watching.
Like a Tennessean, just taking all goddamn day. Yeah, I said it.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
all right, that's it. In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Houston, Texas. That's our show. We're going to be here every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Central, maybe Thursday. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. Supposedly, we have a Twitter and an Instagram. You can try to find us on that.
Yeah, we fucking do.
Yeah, tweet the Red Eye Report.
Go to our Mixer. We sometimes chat on there. We have our reruns playing. And like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down with whatever. I'm Oracle.
I'm Ashtray.
I'm Teddy. You fucking high motherfuckers.
Did Mystic get in there?
I did.
Yeah, he did. Same time as Ashtray.
I cut him off.
It was same time.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
No, fucking retarded.
Yeah.
My 9-year-old got out at the library that we pick her up at. Started dancing the Macarena right on the sidewalk while she's walking up. It was fucking incredible. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, she can hear it as you're pulling up?
Oh, yeah.
She starts doing the Macarena.
No, my
13-year-old.
I'm picking up the 13-year-old. We pull up and stop, and it's playing real loud, and my 9-year-old just jumps out. Starts dancing the Macarena on the sidewalk while my 13-year-old is walking toward the car.
Funny. Well, you both laughed at her.
I was laughing pretty
hard. All right, where's this video link?
We're doing it live.
Are we live, people?
We're fucking live.
There we go. All right. I do got some. I got a couple YouTube clips of like the burning and the.
I'm pulling them up.
Gushing. You can pull later.
I'm a fucking professional, dude.
I know.
The gushing.
Yeah. I'm a fucking professional.
What the fuck are we doing? This show on?
Gushing all over that big gulf. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week on the Red Eye Report, we're talking about the Deepwater Horizon. That record-breaking drill rig that set world records for drilling the deepest well and later spilling the most oil. On the rig tonight, we have Mystic. His character would be the big-ass cigar-chomping VIP from BP, demanding we work faster and always complaining about there being no elevators. Nobody likes him. But he pays the bills and will probably die in the end. Not from the rig blowout, but from loneliness.
Loneliness?
Wow. Because nobody likes you on the oil rig.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah, I know. I always poke fun at your diabetes. I thought I'd just blame loneliness this time. Then we have Oracle. So when NASA comes to the oil rig to request our help drilling a nuke into an incoming asteroid, Oracle's the only one crazy enough to volunteer. We never saw him again. And 6 weeks later, the entire world was destroyed.
Fuck yeah. And I'm fucking aliens.
And then Teddy would, of course, be the stereotypical black oil driller. always saying, this don't feel right. And I wouldn't do that in Detroit if I were you.
I do not talk like a fucking 1950s chain gang runaway. And what the fuck, man? Really?
Who stole my
really,
DC Flash Collector shirt?
Oh no, sir! I don't think we should be going down that dark. What the fuck is this, man? Don't talk like that.
Oh
you
man,
racist bastard!
You're the first one to see like the creature or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I just gotta outrun you three motherfuckers, and I know for a fact I can outrun all three of y'all.
Oh, I'm going first. I'll be the sacrificial lamb because.
And then
ashtray, I'm gonna break Ashtray's knee just for the fun of it. Just keep going.
As Ashtray, I'd be the kooky old maintenance man who lives in the mop room. I'd have the best Pine Sol moonshine, a collection of classic porno, the kind you don't have to download. Come to me for wisdom, and I'll just reply with perpetual ponderings that wander off into useless dribble about pork rinds and Miss July, 1969.
And that's when you know the chloroform is taking hold.
And this is the Red Eye Report. That's how good the moonshine is.
I feel like that really isn't that much of a stretch for you to be that maintenance man. I mean, that's basically a dead-on description of you.
Give me another 30 years. Yep. I will.
I don't know that that's a stretch for any of us. Except Teddy. Teddy's like the only one that I could never see him being like, oh, yeah, so Master, we going to get this oil drilled.
There's no way Teddy's working on a fucking oil drill.
At all,
No.
yeah.
No.
That's why I just pictured him being the paranoid one.
Yeah, but why did I talk like I ran away from a chain gang?
Because you're playing a character, Teddy, in a movie.
I wasn't.
By imagination.
So my character's like demeaned because like I don't speak proper English on the boat, on the oil rig, whatever the fuck it is.
No, you just said, this don't feel right.
Yeah, I know, but the way
just when you say that term, you would use it in that tone. That's all.
I would never say this don't feel right like that. This shit don't feel right, man.
You're playing a character.
Whatever. You're racist. Your racist gone. Fuck you. Let's go. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go.
In my racist imagination.
Whatever, man.
All right, the Deepwater Horizon. You all remember that big old oil rig that, which
Mark blew up.
Mark and Mark blew it up, right? Yeah, I actually have not seen the movie. Mystic has, but he can only remember Marky Mark's oiled up abs.
That man makes me moist.
So I guess
I will say this before. Like I didn't know how many oil rigs there were until I took that cruise to Mexico, and I had to see at least like 15 or 20. It was like a shit ton in the Gulf of Mexico. Like there's a shit ton of them. Like there's a lot of them, just like bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah, they're crazy fortresses, and I always thought they
they're just
drilled. The oil rigs drilled down and to the crust of the earth. They hit oil, and then they pump the oil up and barrel it, and that's how they make oil. Well, it's actually the Deepwater Horizon is a drilling rig and not an oil rig. There are two different things. They look the same. Drilling rig. So it comes down and drills, bores, and makes the actual well. And then they will seal it off. It's called temporary abandonment, which just means that they plug it, and then an actual real oil rig that comes later hooks up to it. They blow out the concrete plug, and then that's the rig that actually collects the oil and sends it out. So they're two different things. Deepwater Horizon was let's see here. It was built in 2001. It was owned by Transocean, and it was leased to BP. So there's three corporate characters to remember in this story. There's Transocean. They own the rig. BP is the one who's actually leasing it, paying Transocean to drill that well. And Halliburton, they're the ones who are basically another contractor to BP, like Transocean. They're the ones who handled the cement. So on the night of April, this is after 7 years of no time loss safety accidents. And they literally, I didn't know this either, but on that night of the explosion, they had a VIP gathering of top dogs for not only Transocean, but also BP and Halliburton. And they're kind of having a powwow and watching really shitty PowerPoints about how great their safety record is. And This is April 20th, 2010. And they were already 5 weeks behind schedule. And this, keep in mind, the estimates are about $1 million a day to run a drill. And so every day behind schedule just costs more and more for BP. So they were.
It sucks for the billionaires. Oh,
yeah, I know. Well,
yeah, they're losing so much money.
It costs them, they're losing $1 million a day. They have it to
irony
lose.
is their cost-saving measures screwed themselves. After all the money they ended up having to pay after the accident. So we got this guy, Wyman Wheeler. He was the guy. He's like, I swear this something ain't right.
Wyman Wheeler
he sounds like the villain in a comic.
Yeah, like a DC.
It does sound like a villain name. Yeah. But actually, Wyman Wheeler was the one who was like, I swear this is leaking, because they do this pressure test to make sure that the actual plug is sealed. And this guy, Jason Anderson, who's the actual villain, he's the one who takes over for the night shift. And he's like, oh, it's all right. And the head honchos are there. So one of the, head honchos is like, Jason, you got this? And he's like, oh, yeah, man, go eat. I got this. It's all good. And so, just
let him do the voices.
And all of a sudden, they do the second pressure test. And Jason Anderson is just like, oh, that's what we call the bladder effect. It's just giving us a false reading. Where when the pressure is sealed, there should be 0 PSI. This was reading.
I just want to say, I've seen the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I swear to God, you just quote the movie. But go ahead. I don't know.
I watched one of those. I watched one of those
called a reenactment
National Geographic disaster episode, but I didn't watch the actual movie yet. But
yeah.
I probably am paraphrasing the quotes.
Teddy, you can't call anybody out on fucking paraphrasing a fucking article.
Why can't I call anybody out on paraphrasing?
Because you're the fucking worst at it. You're like, oh, you read your Wikipedia or whatever, then it fucking breaks. You're like, oh shit, what's up with this thing?
Yeah.
It's not Wikipedia. It's always some website, not Wikipedia. Fuck you.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
So. As the
eat a dick, Oracle.
as a oil well is drilled, so as they drill down, they actually follow the drill bit with steel pipes, and so once it gets down to the bottom of that drill bit is called the annulus. So basically, think of it like a straw in water. It's the opening at the bottom. The annulus has basically there's space between that and the drill bit, and what they have to do is pump this concrete.
You want to laugh.
I know. I'm trying.
You're trying not to. Look at you. Annulus.
I'm trying to say it right. Annulus. I had to look it up how it's spelled because I just kept it writing analus. And, this is 3.5 miles down, mind you.
Damn.
And so they can't see what they're drilling. It's like they're in the Earth's crust. All they can do, they're basically doing it blind. And they are hoping to think of it. I couldn't think of a better way to describe it other than think of a thin or a narrow dildo and a very big, wide pussy. And there's space around it, right?
Okay.
Well, to plug that up,
you could have done a straw in a cup, bro. Why'd you have to go do it to a pussy?
Well, because you have to describe something. You have to describe something filling in a hole, but not touching the sides, being centered.
Yeah, a straw in a cup. In a cup.
Yeah, but hey, I'm talking about something inside the straw. The straw is the steel pipe. That's different than the bore head of the drill. The bore head of the drill would be what they then put in this. Basically, it's what they inject the concrete with. It has to be evenly spaced around the sides, so the concrete goes up and around the straw, i.e. the steel pipe, and seals it off. The thing is, you have to put these things called centralizers, which are big, metal collars that go on the pipe, and they are like a buffer to keep it straight.
With the condom going on, or
kind of like that, yeah. So BP was supposed to. Let's see here. They were supposed to use. They were recommended by Halliburton because Halliburton is handling the cementing part, the closing. They're like, well, you need 21 centralizers. Think of them as these collars that keep it centered. You're going 3.5 miles down. Oh, what'd they have on the rig? 6. And so one of the guys at BP was like, all right, I'll fly 15 more out there. And he takes initiative because his boss wasn't there. Well, then when the boss finds out, of course, the boss is like, oh, no, those are the newfangled centralizers. Those ones will get snagged up and we'll get caught up in the well, and it'll be worse than if we have a blowout. And so they basically just went with 6. 3.5 miles down, there's 6 points that you can keep that pipe centered. So what happens is when it's not centered down and the cement starts to fill in this cavity, it fills in unevenly. Add on top of that, Halliburton, the ones who are making the cement. So apparently, not only is these centralizers, every time it's different for every well, depending upon the kind of rock, the distance, they're drilling. Same goes with the cement they use to plug it. It all varies with the type of environment and the pressures. So because they were worried about the pipe being too thin, because they're already saving money by using too narrow of steel pipes, they nitrogenize the cement. Basically, they pump it full of nitrogen bubbles, just like a nitro beer. Problem with that is if you don't have perfect, even spread of that cement, the bubbles all coalesce and start making channels. And those channels, then the oil just floods up to that, and that's boom, how the explosion happened. This 1400 psi eventually broke through, shot up through the rig. They believe Jason Anderson, the guy who's like, I got it, buddy, don't worry, go get some sleep. Yeah, he's dead. And it's 10
look at explosions now? Is that okay?
Yeah. Wow.
This is like the explosion now. This is the the one video is the actual dying moments when it burned for 36 hours. And
did anybody survive?
Well, yes, there was 126 people on board total. Only 11 died. But that's one thing you didn't hear about in the news, about how many of those higher up managers and VIPs were actually on there and had to get in those life dinghies and drop off the edge of the rig into the sea. You think they would take regulatoriness a little more serious. But so anyways, Jason Anderson and his crew, they all died. Initially it starts shooting gushers of mud and oil up right through the center of the rig. And then high concentrations of methane gas come out to where it looks like the walls are covered in condensation, and like the survivors were saying their faces were all of a sudden beating up, but it was methane gas condensating on them, and they're breathing it in. Like they were saying, it's hard to breathe. And so everything is basically misted in methane, and doesn't take too long before that vapor, high concentrated vapor, gets to the engine room where the generators are running. And essentially that vapor just got sucked into the air intake of the engines, and then explosion out the exhaust.
Out like a fucking, like a flamethrower almost.
Think about that, yeah.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what really like set the whole thing up. And
even crazier, it took you like 12 minutes to get to this point.
I know, right? I had to get up to all the details. I took a lot of notes. It leaked for 86 days. I remember it ended up being about 5 million barrels.
How many gallons?
That it?
Yeah, 5. Yeah, I was actually thinking it would be more, but when the thing finally sank, you have to think of that steel pipe, that long straw started bending and snapping, and as that came down, it all twisted at the bottom where the BOP is, the blowout preventer. And this is why it was so why they couldn't get the thing to stop is because they have safety measures that are supposed to be redundant in these kind of emergency situations. The BOP it's a blowout preventer. Basically, it's what you'll see on the screen now, this weird metal contraption. That's at the top of the well. And that has these, it's called the EDS, Emergency Disconnect System. If you hit that, pinchers that slam in and like basically just pinch that steel pipe shut. That's the sophisticatedness of this emergency system. So just pinch it off. Well, then they've got a unit to the rig. If that's cut or the power's in some way cut, it automatically is a battery-powered pincher that's supposed to clamp the thing off. Well, it turns out when they finally were able to get down there and test it, it only had 7.6 volts in the battery, and it should have been at 27 volts. Transocean swears, we charged it. We charged it before that accident. It just must have wore out. It's like a girlfriend who borrows your Bluetooth speaker. I swore I charged it.
Should have got a Duracell. Just saying.
Right? So that's how that failed. As you can see there, that's just like one of those twisted pipes. So those extra things that were supposed to clamp the pipe off didn't work. Both of them.
Could no one find Chuck Norris during this whole thing?
Right? Yeah, right.
All he had to do was just dive down there,
tie it together, fucking
right? Tie it like a bow tie.
Yeah.
Right. And he'd be done. But no, 86 days later, I guess Obama just didn't want to hire Chuck Norris, or maybe Chuck Norris doesn't like Obama.
I think it's more likely the latter.
Yeah. I ain't gonna save America for you. I do remember though, after a couple months of that, thinking like, God, imagine if they just could not get this thing to stop, and we had a severe, like, the world slowly died because we just poisoned the sea.
But I mean, eventually it's going to happen. They're going to hit a pocket of oil.
It's already.
It's not. I mean, it's like not going to stop, and the oil's going to turn. The sea's going to turn black and shit.
Not just that, it's the garbage too. The plastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
we are slowly killing it, but
how did they fucking stop this shit?
How they ended up stopping it, nobody knows.
What? What do you mean nobody knows?
Just stopped one day.
Just stopped.
No, what they did, they had some brilliant these like containment domes, where let's see if I got a picture of that in one of these Wikipedia ones. I think it's in the oil spill one. It looks basically like a big tower house that they set down. It's an oil containment dome. They tried to just set it over the entire thing, and then what they did was pump the oil out, like as it collected up in this siphon. But they were only, projected like maybe getting 30 to 50% of actually the oil that was leaking was actually, they were able to pump directly up and just contain it instead of it letting it get into the water. Because there's, as you saw in that video, all those twisted pipes were just laying on the seabed and they were leaking in all different spots.
Yeah, so they had to basically shut off the main.
Well, it's the thing is they couldn't shut that initial main off until they you probably remember them talking about relief wells that they drilled, which is essentially just making new wells and letting the pressure come out of those as well to try to equalize it enough that, or they get the pressure down low enough. They did eventually, they got concrete in there to seal it for good. So it is now, after 86 days, they finally were able to declare it a dead well. But it says here.
So they punctured more holes in the water balloon to let less water out.
No, well, they punched more holes in the water balloon, but those holes are in active wells that are collected. So they're not, those holes aren't leaking into the ocean. They're basically extra oil rigs that come and start pumping from that same chasm area to take the pressure out. And so that's how they finally closed that up. But yeah, it was about 5 million barrels. And
would be so disappointed.
Gosh, they had 2013 alone, 73 years later, there was 4.6 million pounds of oiled material, which is like those tar balls and the sandy sluts, was removed out of Louisiana coastline alone.
Damn. So wasn't there like a unexpected algae or some sort of organism that was eating the oil?
I do remember hearing something about that, but I can't remember. I know there was also a big uproar about the dispersant. So most of the stuff I read up on was the actual how the accident itself happened. But remember the dispersants they were spraying, which I guess was supposed to make the oil all like, oh, we'll just sink it to the bottom. Oh, there's nothing down there. Yeah.
So the fucking Kraken's just like, what the fuck are you retards doing?
God! Got oil in my eyes.
Yeah, that blows.
So yeah, I guess I didn't really know how the old Deepwater Horizon blew.
Oh my god!
And so it was not only they found it was BP's cost saving measures, but it was also Halliburton's shitty cement, and then it was Transocean's. Like Transocean was the one running the drill.
So basically, it was a bunch of cheap ass rich white people.
Yeah, Halliburton in their own laboratory tests. I forgot to mention that in their own they had, because every drill needs a different type of cement. They actively, as they're getting ready for this process, they have onshore scientists who work on the recipe for the cement that will be used. And they 2 or 3 tests, that cement mixture was failing, where the nitrogen bubbles were forming channels, and they didn't tell BP. And then they eventually like, oh, this certain way of mixing it, if you mix it extra long, then it works. But the problem is that is like 3.5 miles under. You can't get down there to look at it. You can't send a rover down to like see, was it the cement that blew out? Like it's stuck down in the way down below the earth. No one will know.
Wow.
Oh, Transocean, their fault was the fact that the blowout preventer, that battery wasn't charged, and the emergency steel pinchers didn't even work.
Somebody's using it to charge their fucking PSP.
Yeah, right.
Fucking piece of shit.
This world is
goddamn right. It was me.
Yep, it was that black oil.
That would be Teddy's role in this.
Yes, sir. I was charging a PSP. How the fuck he did it earlier in the fucking intro made me sound like a 1950s.
No, that was pretty good. Got it.
Guess what? I'm in a lifeboat playing PSP while the rest of the motherfuckers panicking.
While the thing is burning, you don't give a fuck.
The last scene.
You would have taken a whole
scene. All these people are dying and shit, and it just like fucking slowly fades out to Teddy playing his PSP in a lifeboat.
Right.
Fuck it. White.
Take a whole lifeboat for himself. There's only 2 guys on this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, should have been faster. I'm out.
I'm surprised though that many people survived, but I guess they had about 5 minutes to get their asses off.
Huh.
So yeah, it's the Deepwater Horizon. Now we're moving on to the What's Sexy. We're gonna talk first with Mystic, Chappelle's new stand.
Shit,
great.
It's fucking
super
hilarious.
Fun. It's typical Chappelle. He just fucking
kills it.
He's such a good storyteller that he can basically say whatever the fuck he wants. Like Chappelle has a unique way of like telling you to go fuck yourself, and you thinking that it's the funniest thing on the planet.
It's pretty funny.
It's just how it is, I guess.
It's you. That's you, the audience.
Yeah.
It's like, you all are the worst motherfuckers on the planet. Trying to make you sons of bitches laugh. It was always good.
So yeah, check it out.
That's on
It's
Netflix.
Yeah, it's new.
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Now, did he have a deal for like 5 stand-ups or whatever? Because he had like the 2 right out the gate, right?
Yeah, this is the 5th one. Well, both of those were 2 hours long. They were 2 specials. So he's had 5 stand-ups that he's done.
Oh, okay. And that's all on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then make sure you check out, it's called The Epilogue. It's after, like, it's under the trailers and more section of like when you click on the Sticks and Stones stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he took that same act to Broadway and then like had like a Q&A afterward. And people were asking him questions about, advice for comedians and all kinds of shit. It's pretty funny. But like he comes out of the epilogue and the first thing he says is, "Man, people in the front row, I heard y'all had a problem. Some of you were paying like $800 to come here tonight." He's like, "That's fucked up, because 2 weeks ago, I did this same fucking show in Atlanta for $60. He's like, "You could have flown to Atlanta, had something to eat, saw the show, came back, and still had a few $100s to buy some cocaine or some shit." He's like, "But no, you paying $800 because I came to this faggoty ass neighborhood or some shit. We call it faggot neighborhood." Oh, it's fucking great. He's like, "Let me get on with these pussy jokes then." He's like, the last time, or there ain't been this many pussy references in this building since Cats. Broadway. It was fucking great though. It's I like the Q&A section better because it's just him talking to people. He's still funny as fuck. He knows how to work a room. Anyway, check it out.
Word. All right, moving on next to Teddy. Control.
Yay! Control is a weird fucking game. It's a third-person shooter. The story is real weird. It looks like an Oracle type game. It's on Game Pass.
I want to get this one. It is Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass.
Fuck no, it isn't.
That's where I got it from.
Game Pass?
Yeah.
Is it new?
Maybe.
I think you're high.
Maybe you blew. You just about to say maybe I bought it.
I am high, but I'm thinking maybe I did buy it.
What?
but I believe it's. I believe check the Game Pass and see. I believe it's on Game Pass.
All right.
I mean, I checked mine right now, but it turned my camera off.
What kind of game is it? I'm waiting for the footage.
It's have you clicked on the trailer yet?
Yeah, it's
a third-person shooter. The story is real weird. You walk into this agency. There's an entity with you that's been with you from experience that happened in your past. Your brother's taken from you by the agency that you walked into. It's the thing about this game is I fast forward through a lot of story in video games. I'm just click because I can generally figure it out. But like this shit has made me want to watch. I mean, like this shit has made me want to watch the story because it's the cutscenes are pretty cool. Cutscenes are pretty cool. It keeps you guessing because it doesn't give you all the information. It makes you like, okay, I got to go over here to turn these on so I can get this going or whatever because you got to end the lockdown and shit. But they give you snippets of story just enough to make you get you to go to the next point.
So what kind of is it a shooter?
It is a shooter. You have a gun. It's called. They have these things called objects of power, and the gun you have is one of them. And the gun can transform into different forms. The agency building you're in is a shifting building, and it's under attack by this thing that they named the Hiss. It's a real cool, crazy, fucked up game. It is real trippy. It's pretty cool though. I swear it's on Game Pass. Like I really want to look and see.
It's not on Game Pass.
The graphics are really good.
But yeah, this is definitely on my radar. Remedy made this. So Remedy is the studio behind the Max Payne series.
Is it on Steam?
Yeah.
It should be on Steam.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you playing? You're playing it on Xbox One X, Teddy?
On Xbox One X, yeah. I mean, the only downside I have to say is when you load up the map, for some reason I switched my shit. For some reason down was jump, and I switched it to A. We want to change that shit. But the map when you pop it up, it doesn't. It'll show you like the names of the main places you can fast travel to or go to, but the actual map won't pop up for a while. So you'll have to like close it and pop it up or leave it up for a while until you can like actually see like corridors and stuff. But I mean, the game is cool. It is kind of challenging because you have the gun, plus you have powers and stuff that you can level up. Yeah, one of them's
find it on Steam.
Yeah, one of them's telekinetic. You can pick up shit and throw it at people, and you can stop rockets and throw back grenades, and eventually you can pick up people. But if there's one of the cool things I learned is if there's nothing around for you, like usually you can only pick up like a canister or something. But if there's nothing around, you can like look at a wall and like rip out part of that wall and throw it at people at the floor. It's really destructive, really interactive. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks really badass. I love Remedy. How they do like in-game TV shows and shit too.
Yeah, like the part of the story is you'll learn like when you go to a new sector or whatever, there'll be either a projector or like a TV, and you go to it and click it, and like it'll be kind of like a slanted view, and it'll be. You ever seen Lost?
Not available.
Any of y'all ever watched Lost before?
No.
It's kind of like
I remember the show, but
it's like
never watched.
It's like it's like an old 1950 style informational video.
Oh,
but the video is actual people. It's not in the game's graphics. It's an actual guy with real people. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, the way they tell the story, you find out information about what's going on. It's real cool and engaging. And for me to like, I play a lot of video games, and for a game to do that to like have me sit through a cutscene, it's yeah.
That's cool. For the first time, I've understood what you're talking about. No, I'm serious. Like you like video games so much, and I'm that way with movies. For a movie to fucking make me go, oh shit, that was really cool. It takes a lot. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of fucking movies, so that's cool.
Right.
It does look like a cool game for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Word. All right, moving on. Sorry. Oracle. I was mesmerized by this game. It actually is really pretty. We're moving on to shit that works and doesn't require a lot of effort.
Yep. Shit that works.
Like fiber shits. Fiber blast.
Fiber blast. Fucking Jose Canseco's Fibroblast.
Yeah. Fibroblast.
So one of the challenges with the Red Eye Report is that we have like over 200, or we're at episode 249 as of this one. So whenever we have to make any changes to our website and how things are on there or where things are hosted and whatnot, it can be a big pain in the fucking ass. And I've spent, many a fucking hour, day, week, fortnight over the past several years. This is my dad. He's a carpenter, and he would be building, onto his shed. This is my shitty shed project that seems to never end, and is lewd and will probably get me arrested someday.
Your dad must have wild shed.
But I wasn't talking about the shed. I was talking about the Red Eye Report. But I found like a good. So it used to be the only good embeddable player out there, or one of the only good ones, was like SoundCloud. And back in the day, you would have to. I've paid over $100 to host, shit. Over my projects and stuff like that. And because computing, it's a lot cheaper. Storage is, storage for a show like ours is a fucking drop in the bucket nowadays. And you can get this shit for free. And the players, you just put a link in and fucking WordPress. That's what we use for our website. It just, puts it on there. So it's nice for once to I've been going through and kind of just adding like a nice responsive player to our website, to our old episodes. It's a lot easier, a fuck ton easier than what it's been in the past. So it's been nice. And it's always good to kind of go through the back catalog. And, I'll read the intros sometimes, and they're so fucking retarded. Like,
yes, we are.
My hope is that, you know, there are people on the internet that accidentally stumble upon our website and start going through the pages, and they're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, that's all I ask for, really.
Right? Bafflement.
As long as that's happening. Well, you know, so if you haven't gone to the redeyereport.com, we do have a lot of our episodes. We have custom murals for all the episodes that are posted up. And, you know, when Ashtray isn't feeling lazy,
yeah, he gets
up.
A few done.
Right. We got all of our show links and stuff. And it's kind of
like Mystic helps.
It's kind of nice to just go back and look at that shit. Because it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what we do.
So good old DIY mural. My shining achievement.
Yeah, right? Yeah, check that one out. That's all I got.
All right, moving on to Ashtray. That would be me. You might think this is stupid, but I thought it was brilliant idea for a restaurant. This place called Ziggy's Bar and Grill up in Fond du Lac. I swung into there, instead of, you know, like fries, curly fries, tater tots, side salad, you know, I mean, they had all those, but one of the options was grilled fajita vegetables. And I was like, fuck yeah, I love me some grilled fajita vegetables. And so I got their crispy chicken and cheese curd wrap, which is more like, you might as well call it a burrito, because it's
fucking delicious. It's a fucking burrito with cheese curds?
Basic cheese curds and crispy chicken tenders inside.
Fuck. You can't even get cheese curds out here.
And then I got the grilled fajita vegetables on the side. You know, it's like, sure, maybe the same amount of calories as French fries, but you know, it's better than fryer grease calories. You just shovel those on top of it. Oh, it's delicious. And I was like, why don't more restaurants offer that?
I honestly, I swear, if anybody set up a cheese curd fucking stand out here, they'd be a fucking millionaire. They'd make so much fucking money.
You think it'd just be too hard to transport?
So go ahead,
curds?
Dude.
Do it, Oracle. Buy a few cows.
Yeah,
start making you some cheese.
Get you some curds and whey. So, all right. I think more restaurants should do that, and that's my sexy, greasy fajita vegetables. Moving on to Fuck What You Think. And we're going again with me, because I'm special. Ashtray. Native Instruments is laying off 20% of their workforce, which really sucks to hear, because rumors are that it's a lot of the people in their hardware division, which my most recent, and I've been putting off like switching to their gear, but I've been wanting to because it's so well integrated. It's not just relying on.
What is this? What are you talking?
Native Instruments is company out of Germany that makes sound software and equipment, and they also make the Tractor DJ software and platform, which is what I use to work with. And I just invested in one of their new flagship controllers, you know, and then now here, like, well, we're gutting our 20% of our workforce, especially in our hardware department. It's like, mate, you don't know how much that's going to affect. It wouldn't be so bad if, like, I have to get a different controller, but if they start not supporting the software as much, it'll just be a real pain in the ass to try to switch over to something different. I'm too many years used to it.
What is the name of it?
Native Instruments is the company.
It's a great name.
Tractor Pro is the DJ software that I use.
I don't care about that part. Native Instruments. That's a cool name. Yes.
It's also a video game, Tractor Pro.
They've been around since '96.
Yeah, I bet it is.
So yeah, this is, I guess, the biggest like layoff they've had little minor layoffs, but
any
never like
information. They're just saying.
Well, I think what it is they're trying to put their company in a position. I mean, there's a lot of these kind of employment rumor sites where people have been bitching that there's a disconnect. Like a lot of companies you'll get where it's like, there's a disconnect between upper management and the real people down here doing the work. And
I feel like that is said in every single
exactly
place ever.
But employees don't say it out loud until after they've been laid off.
Sure.
That's just the nature of it. But rumors are that they're trying to position their company to be most attractive to be sold to a larger company. And one way to make your company look more profitable and increase funds is to actually lay people off. It's one of these dirty tricks that my crooked ex-wife bragged about, in the sense that I can't remember what company she had stock in, but she was like, yeah, they just laid off people. I'm like, that's terrible. And she's like, but the stock's going to go up now because they're not spending all that money on labor. It's like, but the people who lost their jobs. Nope, bitch didn't care.
Any idea who would buy them?
I'm not sure.
Beats by Dre.
Yeah, right. Fuck, Beats by Dre. God damn it.
No, Soulja Boy's going to buy him and turn him into a video game company.
Anyways, it might not mean too much for me, but just so long as I don't have to switch software, because I don't want to have to reset all that work.
Dude, Winamp's always waiting for you.
Yep. Winamp with the automatic cross.
Is that still around?
Homie. Dude, I use Winamp. Fuck yeah.
I
use Winamp when I first DJ'd.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know this shit was still around.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, moving on to Oracle. Dumb fucking music players, speaking of which.
Yeah, right. Wow. What an amazing segue.
Right?
Oh, you're talking about Winamp?
Amazon Music.
Anytime now. Yes.
Is fucking retarded.
Really?
Their algorithm for their radio stations is fucking dumb. Like, it just
I never use radio stations.
It never generates good music, and comes up with like new and interesting tracks or anything. It's great for, if you know what you want to listen to, but if you want to have like a radio thing where, it's kind of trying out some new things or whatever, from my experience, I was listening to the exact same shit like every time I would listen to that station when I'd go to the gym.
It felt like this is the same 15 songs.
Yeah, same order, like everything. And it's like, okay, well, I mean,
it's not really a radio station then.
Right.
You might as well.
It's just a playlist.
I use their playlist, yeah, because you can actually choose. You can see what's in it, and you can put it on shuffle.
This
sounds like a play. This sounds like the
right.
radio stations are a playlist without shuffle.
Exactly. So just tell me what it is, and I'll just make a playlist. But anyway, so I was like, fuck, what's Pandora up to? These days.
I haven't used them, and
so I fired up Pandora, and I've got Pandora on the Xbox, and just they're like the first one that I remember, that actually had like the algorithm with the thumbs up and the thumbs down and shit. It's just so much better, and I'm hearing music, like discovering new bands and shit, and that's what I want. So I guess my gripe really with the Amazon thing is don't, and the thing that really sucks too is like you can't just make a station off of anything. Like you're kind of stuck
Pandora,
with
you could have
categories.
either a song or an artist,
right? Like there are specific artists that you can make stations off of, so it already kind of channels you in, and that isn't what I was looking for. So I don't know. I found that to be lame. I'm digging Pandora right now. I've been listening to the band Once Human, or I made a station from them, and that's been working out really well for me. But yeah, that's my
cool.
I just got sick of hearing the same fucking thing.
Well, if it goes in the same order, that would get very dull. Because it's pointless then. It's not really a radio station. an unshuffleable playlist.
I just download the albums on Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great for that when I was using it.
So how much do you pay for the actual unlimited Amazon Unlimited or whatever?
I don't even remember.
Is it $10 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 10. If you do Pandora, they're like
but
whatever.
You don't get
ad free. You don't get to keep it, and it's $5. I think Spotify has something.
I think
Spotify does have. I use Spotify. It has a radio setting. Which I like using. You can do off of any. You can do it off of a playlist, off of a group of music on a playlist you have.
I think you can Amazon Unlimited.
You can do it. You can do it off of a single artist or an album. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
Mystic, can you? Download
the premium
albums,
the premium is $10 a month for Spotify. Spotify is free though, so. But it comes with commercials and shit, and you can only fast forward. You can only fast forward like 7 or 8 songs and whatever, but you can still download albums and shit.
Yeah, fuck Spotify. Mystic, when you download those on Amazon, does it let you play them on anything outside of the Amazon player?
I haven't tried.
Because
I download it right onto.
I think that at least when I listen to the things that they will offer on Prime for Prime users, so it's not full unlimited, but I know like I can't download those and then take them into my DJ software. I have to actually buy the
right. You'd have to buy it, but
yeah, sure. I mean that would be. I mean, you could just download.
Well, it's not very unlimited.
Pay for 1 month, pay $10 and get fucking thousands of.
Yeah, this isn't fucking Napster, dude.
Gotta be a catch. There's always a catch.
That's one thing with Amazon though that I've been finding with the Alexa is I have Google or Android Auto in my car, and anything I tell that, I could ask that thing anything and it'll figure it out. And Amazon, I'll ask Alexa and man, that motherfucking thing comes up with some crazy ass answers. It just makes shit up sometimes. A lot of the time.
Alexa, are you bullshitting me?
So I think I think Amazon really needs to step their game up with the fucking AI or whatever the fuck they got going on.
Funny. All right, we're gonna move on now to Teddy. No more Harry Potter. Oh, look, he even typed it that way.
Yeah, I did. So St. Edward's Catholic School in Nashville, Reverend Dan, what's his name? Rehill, has banned Harry Potter books. He sent out a fucking email to the faculty. It says the 7 books present magic as both good and evil, which is not true, but in fact a clever deception. The curses and spells used in the books are actual curses and spells, which when read by a human being risk conjuring evil spirits into the presence of the person reading the text.
Jesus.
I have consulted several exorcists both in the United States and Rome, and they have recommended removing the books from circulation. Okay. So this crazy fucker thinks that the Harry Potter books are real, and the fucking I don't know what he spells from the fucking book or movie. So
you would see a lot more owls flying around if it was real.
or a lot more kids would have been fucking. Something would have happened. It is just these people are fucking retarded. It's just a goddamn shame. And the fact that this is Nashville doesn't surprise me. There's a law like I had my bachelor party in Atlanta because they petitioned to a law around here to where there is this 3-foot law for strip clubs. There's now a barrier to where you want to I feel it's more degrading because you have to ball up the one or whatever you're gonna throw, whatever tipper and chuck it at her instead of putting it behind the ear or whatever and letting her come and get it like you used to. Nope. Ball it up and chuck it at it. So now you're trying to see if you can hit the bitch in the left nipple or something. It's more like a game, and I feel like it's more degrading. But they call Tennessee the Bible Belt, the buckle of the Bible Belt, and this shit's just retarded. Goddamn fucking stupid Catholic retards.
Goddamn retarded Catholics.
I've been to the Vatican out of walk.
So are they saying the Vatican is against it, or is this just some local nut?
No, this is just some local nut, and they But the superintendent was like it's his school. He can do it if he wants. It's just books and shit.
It's cool.
Just let him. But this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't let guys fuck. All right, just sit at home. Like, goddamn Harry Potter. Okay.
This is true.
If God wants you to be born without a dick, all right, just use it. Okay, it's fine. Jesus Christ.
See, we're gonna go on to now Mystic with violence.
I think Mystic there.
Oh, he left. Fucking
they took
battery
him
died,
out.
didn't he?
No, I'm here. It's just everyone decided to come downstairs and talk while I'm trying to do this. So anyway, 2 days ago, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, this woman was shot on the corner of 51st and Capitol because they got into a fender bender.
Damn.
And argued, and then someone in the car that I don't know who it was, if they got hit or did the hitting, decided to pull out a gun and shoot this lady.
Wow.
How old was
She's teaching her kid how to drive. I don't fucking know, 50 something, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's the point is that somebody got shot over a fucking traffic.
Yeah, while teaching your kid to drive, that's I would never want to drive then. I was
fucking
16.
violence in these cities is fucking ridiculous, and I'm sure it's not just Milwaukee. It happens in every fucking big city, and it's stupid. Pull out a gun over some shit like that? Come on.
Yeah.
On a lady too, though.
Right.
Yeah. Amazing. It's like you'll have people like that where it's like, where is your conscience? Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Who raised you?
Right.
Teletubbies.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Teletubbies are the devil.
Goddamn Teletubbies taught me to pull out my gun to solve situations.
All right. Being racist again? Is that what it is? Is it gonna be?
That was my hillbilly. Okay, we're making fun of Teletubbies.
No,
Jesus, you're so.
You were doing hillbilly. Oracle was being racist. I see that smirk. I see that fucking smirk.
That's some bullshit, dude.
That's
some severe bullshit.
Let's go. Wait till I got my turn's in 2 weeks.
We're all racist, Teddy. We know it. As white people, we can't help it. It's our nature.
God damn.
So,
crackers.
in all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's our show. We're going to be here every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Central, maybe Thursdays. You can check us out during the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/theredeyereport. You can also twiddle us, but nobody cares and nobody uses it. So twiddle the air. Otherwise, like us, share us, fuck us. We're down for whatever. I am the ashtray.
I'm Oracle.
I'm Teddy.
I'm Mystic.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Yeah, I was like, what are you waiting on? Jesus Christ. You're like a Tennessean. You're just so slow. Fuck.
Yep. It's hot in here.
These people are so slow down here. I hate it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.
All right.
Just go straight up here. We've got a better chance of avoiding those banshees off-road.
Hoorah! Whoa, banshees! Look out!
Banshees, inbound! Try and lose them through those trees!
Alert! Banshees, fast and low.
Banshee! Save us, Chief!
This is Cortana to all air support units. I'm sending you coordinates for an LZ, requesting immediate evac. Repeat, all air support units to the LZ.
Cortana, I'm getting a green from 3, 4, make that 5 Pelicans. En route to the LZ. You and the Marines had better be there soon. Cortana, I can't follow you through there. I'll see you on the other side.
That's not the most reassuring choice of words. This cave is not a natural formation.
Woo! Echo!
Like this, comms have gone quiet. Kilo actual, do you read? Kilo actual. Whoa!
Detecting sulfur deposits in the local cave systems. Sulfur is an essential component of the repair tool. Copper is an essential component of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible. "30 seconds. silver-based wiring kits are an essential component of many habitat modules. 30 seconds. Oxygen.
Balls, dude.
All right.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live.
Okay.
Are we live?
We're doing it live.
Yeah. I just got a ding-a-ling-a-ling. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the invite button when we start these shows isn't really there anymore. Now it's all like, start a watch party. It's like, I'm hosting it. I don't have, like, I want to just send an invite out like we used to be able to. Fucking dumb.
Old man ashtray.
Old man ashtray, right to the...
When we used to stream, it was this way. You could send an invite.
Yep, fucking bullshit.
Is evolute a word?
No.
Hi, Callie.
Evolution? I just wrote evolute this. Doesn't make any sense.
Share to a group.
Make perfect sense, man.
All right. We ready?
Oracle, you should have gotten this fucking long-lasting battery switch, man. It was awesome. Anyway, go ahead.
I never play my shit anymore.
Yeah, right? They're fun for a week, and then we're so spoiled. What's
That's because Oracle's a video game whore.
I am.
Yeah.
All right.
He's back to the PC now, baby.
On this episode of the Red Eye Report, we talk about human evolution. Where did we come from, and how many Neanderthals did we fuck to get here? Judging by the faces of my co-hosts, I'd say the answer is a lot.
Oh,
have you seen
I
my
only
brow?
have to personally do 4.
He's talking about Ashtray's glistening forehead. He's talking about me.
That's funny. Ashtray has been known to black out and rummage through trash bins at night looking for simple proteins and scraps like a savage beast. Scientists are still trying to determine whether this is the result of ass clapping a Neanderthal or being a raging drunk.
I think it's a little of both.
I think it's a little of both.
Man, that Neanderthal booty, though.
All right. Teddy has a recessive gene that causes him to think the PlayStation Vita was a good gaming system.
Hey, fuck you. It was a good console. Kiss my ass.
See,
Every console has been in
was
its
it
own,
around
like,
for a year and a
man,
half?
Don't be talking about my video games, dog. It's too personal.
He also consistently fantasizes and comments on consuming the bodies of other humans, especially the body of our next host, the Almighty Mystic.
Yeah, you do. Eddie wants to eat me all the time.
Hey, you ever sucked on a fat baby cheek? It's tasty, man. Can't help it.
Gross.
Gotta get them cheeks,
Fucking
man.
weird.
You have no idea.
Speaking of Mystic, Mystic's body has morphed into a gelatinous mass. We're not sure what Mystic is evolving into. Perhaps a giant brain or maybe a new Pokemon. Either way, the process will be streamed on Twitch. So don't worry, we've got you covered. And that leaves
right there,
me,
Tim.
Oracle. I'm tall and I can eat dairy like a fucking mutant, so I guess I have those evolutionary traits going for me. What's it good for? I don't fucking know. Sucking on giraffe titties? Nature holds many mysteries. So join us as we uncover a few of them tonight on the Red Eye Report.
Sucking on giraffe titties, dog. That was a good one. I haven't.
Wait, giraffes have titties?
They gotta have titties.
Yeah, they're mammals.
They're mammals.
Ashtray, you ready? You ready to take a shot, Ashtray?
Oh,
ready, bro?
shit. So Teddy and Ashtray are actually drinking tonight.
Well, when is Ashtray not drinking?
Okay,
right.
this is true. All right, so Teddy, what is your drink of choice tonight? What are you drinking?
I am drinking a lovely Smirnoff vanilla vodka.
Okay. All right. I do like a flavored
vanilla
vodka. I don't think I'd go for
like
vanilla.
You pour that on your tampon, shove it up your fucking vag there, buddy? Or what?
Look, I don't like taste alcohol, all right? Look, when you want me to drink what you want me to drink, you buy my goddamn alcohol.
Yeah, what is
it? Right? If not, shut the fuck up and grow.
I want you to stop acting like a man when you're drinking vanilla vodka. Is what I want you to do.
You want to drink, yeah. You want a real drink.
All right, what do you got?
Bronca.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
The Devil's Mouthwash or the Bartender Shot, because think of it like it's a botanical type like Jägermeister, but without Jägermeister has a lot of sugar in it.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of think of like a Jägermeister without the sugar. It's it's like one of those things that like it's like a tonic.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah,
that's why they call it the. That's why they call it the Bartender Shot.
Sounds like the horrible part of black licorice.
Cheers.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
Pink.
Okay, so
I actually, you're an alcoholic when you realize you drink too much of this and you start to get burning holes in your stomach. Had to lay off it.
Yeah, that's
shit.
That's a problem. All right, so as these guys devolve into, I don't know, we'll see.
Alcoholic.
That's going to be interesting.
The drunker I get, the more truthful I get. So somebody gonna get their feelings hurt.
So we're gonna be talking about human evolution tonight. So let's talk about kind of the classic past different branches of evolution and shit like that. So we share a common ancestor that lived 7 million years ago, the chimpanzee. That's our closest relative.
How dare you?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm already blasphemous.
The Lord and Savior Jesus Christ did not make us come from chimpanzees.
We didn't come
from them niggers over there.
We didn't come from chimpanzees. There was a fucking split at that point. Now, there are closer relatives to our species. So we're Homo, they're the hominins. Okay? So these are all the kind of the things that would eventually develop into Homo erectus and Homo sapien. So the first hominin emerged in Africa about 7 million years ago. And its kind of defining feature is it had canine teeth.
The motherland, Doug.
That were smaller than earlier apes.
We had canine teeth. Oh, yeah.
So
we do.
Looked pretty similar to the other apes, and it just had like, I don't know.
We ate meat.
Yeah, it looks a lot like a fucking ape. Now, around 6 million years ago, another one came up. This one is Ororhyntugenesis, lived in East Africa, and its thigh bone suggests that it was an upright walker. So now that is a trait that we're starting to see 6 million years ago. Closely around that time, there was another one that had a toe bone that suggests upright walking. Now, this is all based off of fossils that they have found. So there is like a gap around like 5 million years because, I mean, it's 5 million years old. You got to find this shit in order to make these discoveries. So in the early days...
Is that considered the missing gap or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
Missing link?
Well...
Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, and they say that that's kind of overplayed a little bit with the missing link.
The missing link is Patrick Ewing.
So
yes,
they describe the human evolutionary tree and the hominins is more. It's not like these species were existing simultaneously. So it's more of a bush than a tree. It's branching off in multiple directions. at the same time. So
right, and is this mostly because of where they lived, right?
So they're all in Africa at this time.
Well, I'm just saying that like we developed our brains because we needed to.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
Compared to like, somebody that had the strength to fend off. Well, we didn't have. It was survival.
Exactly, and we'll kind of get into that, and we'll see kind of what changed and how that reflects what we are today. So around 4 million years ago, the grasping feet that allowed them to climb trees, those went away. So now the feet can no longer go around the branches.
Climb on trees. We now walk our asses everywhere. Son of a bitch.
Now, this had all taken place in Eastern and Central Africa. By 3 million years ago, they hit Southern Africa. And now stone tools were actually being used in Ethiopia, or around what's Ethiopia that is today. 2 million years ago, Homo erectus became the first hominin to migrate out of Africa. So now these motherfuckers are like, standing up
out of here.
Right, they're standing up on 2 legs. Their legs are a lot thinner, skinnier than what the other ones were. So they are much more efficient on moving around, and they had larger brains. They had dexterous fingers, and they really spread out quite a bit.
Oh, I like the dexterous fingers example,
right?
So yeah, they were the first ones to actually leave Africa.
Yeah, they left Africa, and they really spread out.
How many millions years ago was this?
So that was 2 million years ago.
2 million.
2 million years ago. 800,000 years ago, advances in cooking kind of changed the game, and that allowed the brains to grow even larger because I guess they could process the nutrients and eat more stuff at that point. Now, Homo sapiens...
I never thought about how cooking could be a factor.
A big difference.
Because you can break down the food that over hundreds of thousands of years of cooking food, even in the simplest form, has actually helped us evolve.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So Homo sapiens emerged in Africa about 200,000 years ago.
What's up, Luke?
Boom.
Luke Keogh's joined the Facebook.
They lived alongside and interbred with the other hominin species.
Nasty.
So they're fucking all these other things. They're fucking Neanderthals.
Are they fucking these Neanderthals because they can't get away because they're on 4 legs? The other ones are on 2.
Well, the Neanderthals are not on 4 legs. They're
Neanderthals are so walking.
The Neanderthals are just fucking like big, grunty, dumb human things.
Yeah,
that's a huge bitch.
They're the Trump supporters of fucking 800,000 BC.
So other hominins went extinct, and they think that it maybe the Homo sapiens killed them, or also they were built for a different climate than they were built for a hotter climate, and they were built for a colder climate. Sorry, and I don't know. They're not really sure, and actually, there's still some of the Neanderthal DNA that can be found in humans. So I've seen estimates up to 4%.
We fucking murdered all of them.
Yeah, we probably murdered all.
We did.
Right, we probably fucked them and murdered them.
For sure.
But like you had societies, but they weren't writing shit in stone, but. It's very easily you could just be like, you know what? Fuck all those Neanderthals. Let's take their shit. Let's kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you guys ever seen the movie or the show Cosmos? The new one with. You remember the part where he talks about the reason that white people historically are more advanced or richer than the African continent or the black people?
No,
because of the animals that surrounded them. So like when the fucking white people migrated out of Africa,
right,
they had oxen and horses and shit that they found in these other areas.
Mm-hmm.
These animals did more of the work for them.
Right.
So they were able to cook things and feed their brains and read fucking literature, write literature.
Right.
Where these other people that didn't have the animal labor to fucking plow their fields and do whatever the fuck else didn't have the luxury of that.
Yeah.
It's just weird that you can think into just one little thing like that.
One little thing.
Yeah, one little thing, but over a long fucking period of time.
Yeah, over hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah.
A long period of time.
I think it's also like more so. I mean, the brothers had zebras over there that can do the same thing as horses did, but they just left them alone. I think it's another thing about. I mean, I'm being honest.
No, that's true.
You're right. You're absolutely.
That's a good fucking point.
Honest. I mean, they just left them alone.
That's a good point.
Do the work for them.
Yeah, they never tamed them. They just let the animals alone, and animals let them alone. That's what I'm saying. They didn't tame any to do the work for them. Yeah.
Damn white folk trying to tame everything.
Right.
And I don't know why that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is I don't get it? I guess, but
yeah.
So
because we respect nature more, you fucking white devils.
Well, that's the reason you're running around with fucking paint on your face and throwing spears.
I was waiting for you to call me a spear chucker, you racist fuck.
Well, let's talk about some of these kind of evolutionary kind of holdover things. So can any of you what?
Well, besides, you mentioned cooking as growing the brains. When you're talking about 3 million years ago, when they started, when they stopped being able to grab their trees with feet. What kind of ushered this kind of evolution? Did you?
So they needed to move. They needed to move out of the trees. They couldn't get everything that they needed in the trees anymore, and
there have been environmental changes.
Yeah, environmental changes. So. Humans are actually quite good at, and there are still some people in Africa that's how they hunt animals. They actually run the animals down over the course of like a day.
Miles.
Because the animal, like a human being is actually capable of massive endurance compared to most animals. And it's an evolutionary thing that they were
massive
able to.
Massive endurance combined with
guarantee you the top 5 long distance runners in the world are from Africa.
Yeah, yeah, I believe that. I definitely believe that.
Oh yeah,
if not top fucking 100.
So
what is it? Is it Kenya that always has the winners?
Yeah, it's always Kenya. Yeah,
right. So can any of you wiggle your ears?
No, my wife can, but I can't.
Okay,
no.
So your wife can wiggle
demon
because she's a demon. Yes.
Demon. What fucking ears are? What is it?
Well, so this is called a vestigial trait, and it's something that is from our past. And some animals, like cats and dogs, you ever notice how they can move their ears and change the direction of their ears to direct kind of or detect where something's coming from? That is our shitty way of still being able to do that.
The little twitch that somebody can do.
Right. So it's not very good. Another one. Have you guys ever done this test where you put your thumb and your pinky together and you kind of bring your wrist up? Do you have this thing?
Oh, yeah, you look at that thing. Yeah.
I don't have that.
I don't have that.
So you don't have it. So do you have it, Ashtray? Okay, so I'm the only one that has it here. That's another one. Yep, I'm a demon.
What is that?
It's an extra tendon that doesn't do dick for us nowadays. But I guess maybe it had something to do with grabbing onto trees and shit back in the day.
Maybe you have extra pinky strength.
Maybe you should give up scuba diving.
It really doesn't do anything anymore?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Oh.
So Yost has it as well. So those are a few of them, but there are more recent ones that affect us every day. So 10,000 years ago, humans could not drink milk after they were a baby.
How long ago?
10,000 years ago.
Only 10,000.
Only 10,000 years ago, across the board. And what changed this, and this kind of ties into what Mystic was talking about, was agriculture and keeping cattle. Now, they're not sure what came first. If the cattle came first and people started to develop a tolerance for lactose, or if it was the other way around. If they had a tolerance for, there was a mutation.
It is weird too, because I was thinking that the other day. We're the only species that drinks another species' milk.
Yep.
I mean, cats will drink cow's milk, but we give it to them. They wouldn't willingly go out and suck on a cow's tit or something.
Yeah.
Right. So today, more than 90% of all people have some degree of lactose or lactose tolerance.
If I eat ice cream, y'all in the same room with me. Y'all are gonna hate it.
About a third of the population digests lactose imperfectly and experiences some symptoms of lactose intolerance. And some people, mostly of African, Asian, or Mediterranean descent, are not able to digest lactose at all.
Oh, you
Native Americans too.
Yep. I fart and then if I want to clear my colon, I eat some ice cream.
Got a little rocky road in your pants.
I grab my tablet. Nope, I prefer caramel praline.
It's just a white people superpower, man.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
So that's
white folks
just
for white milk. I get it.
What do you think
10,000 years.
The early groups, tribes or whatever that could have lactose tolerance and use dairy as a resource, like over thousands of years? Well, this is only 10,000 years ago, but still, it's thousands of years.
So they're saying
helped them advance faster.
So here's a quote and this is from the Smithsonian. The European and maybe Arab expansions that whacked the Byzantine Empire may have been outcomes of this new ability to digest food, digest dairy. They had more resources. They had more nutrients. Yeah. So being able to do that gives you an advantage.
Well, and you can eat. Like you could make cheese and keep cheese and eat it throughout the, you know what I mean? They had to eat vegetables that would go bad right away and shit. Like, yeah, that is a big advantage.
Huge advantage. Big game changer.
Well, yeah. Prior to then, you're always foraging. Pretty much.
So 10,000 years ago, things change
dramatically.
You're
also restricted by the harvest season of whatever you're eating.
Right. Things changed drastically for humans as agriculture developed, as civilization developed. Now, here's another one. Have you guys heard of scurvy?
Yeah.
That's
fruit, right?
Vitamin C. Yeah.
Right. Lack
you
of
actually
vitamin
caught
C.
scurvy in a Super Nintendo video game called Secrets of Not Secrets of Yep.
I have no idea what you just said. But we're going to continue on.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to take another shot. I've had like 5 or 6 already. I'm taking another.
All right, Ashtray, are you taking another shot?
It's not even.
Okay, so as these guys are taking their vitamin C supplements,
I'm just taking shots.
So you don't want to have scurvy. Basically, you start to fall apart. You start bleeding from your orifices. It's really it's not a good time.
Jesus Christ!
And
I don't like the bleeding from orifices.
Bleeding from your orifices?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit!
And
you get
salute, Teddy.
So. Explorers back in the day, so back in like the 1400s or whatever, they quickly discovered that on long voyages, you better fucking bring along some source of vitamin C, otherwise you're going to be in big trouble. And the thing is, your cat or your dog or other mammals do not have that problem. Yeah. They don't need vitamin C, and almost all other mammals they generate their own vitamin C, and humans do not create their own vitamin C. So after looking into this, they actually found that humans have the genetics in order to create vitamin C. They have this GULO gene.
Well, let's CRISPR that shit and get it going.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's on the horizon. But the thing is, some time long ago, so maybe this was 200,000 years ago, maybe it was 1,000,000 years ago, that gene had a radical mutation happen to it. And normally what would happen if an animal, let's say something just suddenly has a mutation where it goes blind, and this is a genetic disease, and those many times, because of natural selection, those things will die out, or humans or whatever. But back in the day, I was talking about all of these early ancestors. They were all in African areas with a lot of vitamin C available. So they're thinking that it didn't affect the population because they had the stuff. It was part of their diet. So now this gene that affects us now and means that we have to take vitamin C in from outside sources, it wasn't a problem for them. It's a problem for us now. Or I guess if you're a sailor on a long voyage, I don't think it's really a problem.
I think anyone's catching scurvy nowadays.
Right.
I mean, you can just go buy an orange juice from fucking.
Right. Yeah. You gotta go like 6 months without any vitamin C to get scurvy, man. It's just
hey man, post-apocalypse it might be a problem.
Right. So now let's talk about. So these are kind of some of our far back things, and what got me on the subject of this was I read an article, and our brains are shrinking. I didn't realize this.
I've heard that when you get older, your brain shrinks.
No,
just like
our
your damn body.
brains are shrinking as a species.
Oh shit!
So
Trump.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is this: over the past 10,000 to 20,000 years, they think the shrinkage is likely related to the decline in humans' average body size during the past 10,000 years. So we didn't need as big a body because we weren't in as cold of temperatures. So we didn't need all that mass. A smaller body also suggests a smaller pelvic size in females. So you need
those small pelvics.
Right. So you need a smaller head.
Hey, for tiny dick guys, that is a plus. Okay.
I don't care about tiny dick guys.
Hey, I'm just saying, you gotta think about everybody, man. And that's the problem with the country now. You gotta care about everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Really should.
Now we get it. Now we get into kind of more modern stuff. And another likely reason, and so this was 10,000 years. Our brains are energetically expensive, and they don't need to be maintained at larger sizes. We don't need to store as much information inside our brains. We need to process
store in
that.
The cloud now.
Right. We process that information, and we don't need to remember shit like we used to.
Yeah.
So,
there may be I could see how just on evolution level, we have. In the civilization level, we've got so many comforts now.
Mm-hmm.
That, you can be a lazy fuck.
I remember somebody
live and still have kids.
My part thing is, in the past, cell phones have been around for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Cell phones have been around for more than
10 years.
I get that, but the smartphones 10 years.
Smartphones, yes.
And my thing is, like you say, our brains getting smaller because our bodies are evolving into a fact that we don't need that. We don't need to maintain that big of a brain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that this could be that the past 10 years could be a side effect of the intellectual side, a bad part of the intellectual side.
Maybe. Well, go ahead, Mystic.
I had a professor once. Where you were talking about, we were talking about in ancient times, the oral fucking storytellers that would go around and tell stories, and And somebody said, well, how do they remember all this shit? And he goes, because they didn't have 8 seasons of The Office rolling around in their head. Think about it.
Right.
That's fucking
right.
We have this whole sensory overload. I mean, we take in so much information that you can't remember that. That was their only job.
Right.
Yeah.
They just remembered stories.
Yeah.
I think it was. Well, Socrates he's known for not ever writing anything. We only know about him because people who wrote about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he also was like someone who actively was like writing stuff down. Hell no! Like you're gonna lose that ability to have it all up here.
Right. Yeah, and they actually they said it's kind of akin to the way our brains are going is we are upgrading our processor and our RAM, and our hard drive is getting smaller, which I thought was a good analogy for that. Now, something else that I learned about, which was kind of shocking to me, was that our skulls are actually getting smaller. The shape of our skulls is changing.
Oh, beautiful skull.
And
see, now you're starting to
skulls
scare
are
me.
timeless.
I've heard the same shit on Ancient Aliens, and you're starting to scare me. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, so about 250 years ago, our faces began to change. So industrialization interrupted the ancestral patterns of weaning and feeding, with babies nursing on demand for years while also trying solid foods under adults' watchful eyes. So when the mothers went to the textiles and we started giving them increasingly processed foods instead of saying, okay, here, chomp on this fucking deer or, tear into this turkey leg.
Here, don't choke yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
It's actually it's changed the shape of our skulls, and they're much more narrow than what they used to be. And actually, they're finding that our mouths do not have enough room for our teeth anymore. Ancient peoples, so ancient Romans, actually had straight teeth compared to us. We have much more
What's that
crowded.
mean, straight teeth?
They had room for it. They had room.
Right.
They had room for the teeth
you
to
didn't
grow
have to take
in.
your wisdom teeth out.
They didn't have to take anything out. Now they're saying that it's considerably crowded compared to what it used to be.
Oh, so that's actually just a bad evolutionary symptom.
Right, because
we're getting by because we have the technological means to.
It's an evolutionary thing that is caused by not only evolution of people being born and being able to reproduce with these problems, but also what we are eating when we are children and how that is shaping our mouths. That's actually changing what's going on here. And it's affecting, they're saying all of this crowding in the skull is actually affecting the breathing of children. They've got, what's the thing? Sleep apnea.
Yeah, I heard. Okay, it was that little 6-year-old who got arrested and handcuffed. They said, "Oh, she suffers from sleep apnea," and I'm like, I thought, isn't that for old fat people?
Well, I guess it's a big problem for kids now.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and that was something that I had never considered. All right, so just to wrap it up, talking about technology and how that has changed the survival of the fittest and kind of speculating on where we're going in the future here. So they're saying that survival of the fittest no longer applies. Our medical technology has changed the face of that. And basically evolution in humans, evolution is occurring in two other ways. Efficiency based. So let's say you are physically would have been completely fucked up and incapacitated 250 years ago. Now, I don't know, maybe you're a mad programmer or some shit. Who knows?
Yeah, like if you were a total dweeb today, back then, like you wouldn't survive.
Right. So that has changed that.
They didn't have peanut allergies back in the day. Because you died from it.
And then another one is transhumanism. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot. We're going to be seeing a lot of that, like what Teddy was saying with CRISPR. So that's basically trying to get some of these recessive genes out and trying to increase our lifespan and basically hack our humanity. So there you have it, human evolution.
Humanity.
Yeah.
It's interesting that how we're at a point in society that we've gotten to where we classify and narrow things down as much as we can as far as species go. But yet we're narrowing down an ever-changing pool of organisms as far as humans go. And like, I wonder what kind of, and I'm sure there's probably papers written about it where, you're going to have those people who say, well, that's why differences in races are that we're not really technically all the same. They use that as like a eugenics supportive thought. But at the same time, like, so different genes do make you of a different color of skin and whatnot. I mean, that is a certain part of your genetics. But it's just, and now especially with international travel, races are crisscrossing left and right. Like, it's weird. It maybe
what are you talking about, Joshi?
Like, eventually are we going to evolve all into like a weird middle tone skin?
Okay.
Well, pretty
like,
much
yeah.
by the time. But I think fucking couple thousand years from now, we're all going to be,
because this crossbreeding is supported by our modern medical system, which has kept a lot of us alive.
I think it will. I also think that just like
I don't know, man. This
agriculture,
pretty pale.
Yeah.
Like agriculture changed the landscape so much 10,000 years ago. You can't tell me that the technological differences that are taking place within the past 50 years, which will take place over the next 50 years, those are going to have significant changes to our evolutionary makeup. And it's going to be just like it is accelerating with technology. Because the thing is with humans is that recorded history. We iterate on the things that we do, and that speeds it up exponentially. So who knows how that's going to change us, not only mentally. I agree with you, Teddy. I think that mentally there are things that are changing that we do not understand at this point.
Maybe autism.
Who knows? I think there are things that we are all experiencing, not just autistic kids. I think there's just something going on that we don't understand. And physically, I don't know. Who knows what that's going to look like, or what that's changing for us physically. If we don't need to use our hands and like with manual labor as we used to, who knows how that's going to affect things. So I don't know. It's really interesting, kind of crazy to think about. Our skull, over 250 years, our skulls have dramatically changed shape.
Just 250 years?
250 years.
That is not a long period of time.
No, it's not. We think about evolution in terms of millions of years. For human beings, post-industrialization, we're talking centuries.
Look at how fast it's happened. You talk about food and what we put in our bodies. The processing of food in the past 50 years. They had stabilized footage from the early 1900s of people walking in New York, and there wasn't one fat person in the goddamn footage.
Right.
Nowadays, 3/4 of them are.
There were no
morbidly
snacks.
Obese.
Snacks were not a
you
thing.
You made food at home.
There were no snacks in 1900.
Catch some fucking some shitty ass McDonald's on your way to work.
Yeah. Should be interesting. But I guess we're in this together, so we're all fucked.
You got to sit back and be like, damn, ain't we lucky to be just at that tipping point where it's like shit's starting to get cool.
Yeah.
And it's getting easy, but we're not going to live long enough to all of a sudden we're just brains floating around with robots.
It's going to be like WALL-E. You ever seen WALL-E? I know Teddy.
Yeah.
Where everyone's just a blob.
Everybody's
That, like, on a little hover bed. They just hover around.
Exactly.
All right, so we're moving on to the next part of the show, the What's Sexy section of the show. And first up, we have Mystic with Old Music.
So, recently, I've been kind of just getting into some fucking some shit I listened to in the 90s. Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to some Blind Melon. I haven't heard Blind Melon in a really long time. Dude, they were incredible songwriters. That whole album, the whole self-titled Blind Melon album, is a fucking great album.
You know, I never listened to the whole album.
Yeah, I just watched that one video with the bee costume girl.
Yes. No Rain. Yeah.
No Rain,
and that's their most famous.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the band really reminds me of Greta Van Fleet. Like Greta Van Fleet, the music is almost identical. It's just that like soulful 70s, like fucking kind of acoustic-y guitar. You could tell he's playing through some Marshall fucking or Orange Crate with a fucking Les Paul, you know what I mean? Like just that classic guitar sound, but it sounds good. It's really well mixed. It's fucking, and the singer is way better than the kid from Greta Van Fleet. Like that dude was a fucking talent. And it's a shame that he was a heroin addict. Because
did he die?
Yeah, he could have had a really long career, and he was a great songwriter. So I don't know. Check it out. Old music.
You know, I've been getting into some old and new music. I've been listening to the Gimme Metal app that Mystic had brought to our attention last week, and that show is, or that app, which has maybe 100 different shows on it, is really making me realize, damn, there was some fucking kick-ass music back in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
You like Blue Oyster Cult, fucking ripped, man. They fucking ripped. Like you just hear like the classic stuff, you know, like Don't Fear the Reaper.
Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah. Fucking Godzilla. They fucking ripped, dude. And just hearing these bands and shit, it's like, man, it's really making me appreciate. And also there are new bands that you just don't hear about in the mainstream. And it's nice to be reminded or kind of curated in a way like, hey, check this shit out. Like there's so much available out there. It's really hard to keep track of good sources of shit. So I've been appreciating that. Music's good.
Music good. Napster.
Neanderthal. All right, next up we have me with Weirdo All Access. So the Red Eye Report now has a 24/7 or damn near 24/7 or stream, not live when we do the show on Wednesdays or Thursdays at 10 p.m. Central. A stream,
feel like.
Right, a stream that is on all the major streaming platforms, so Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. We're on a bunch of other obscure ones. So at any time, somebody will come on 3 o'clock in the morning. Guess who's going to be there? It's going to be us. And I love the thought of us being that fucking... We're
a channel you can tune into to fall asleep.
Exactly.
To.
So when I worked at Hollywood Video,
with ashtrays, laundry in the back.
Yeah.
When I worked at Hollywood Video in Wausau, Wisconsin, I worked until like midnight, and I would always, after I'd get done, I would close up the store, and I'd have to drive an hour back to Marshfield, and I would listen to Coast to Coast Radio, which I don't. It's a classic kind of like
conspiracy theory
shit. And
Alien
it was just
history.
Right. And it was always there to be consumed and listened to late at night. And I love the thought that we could be that and fill that space for somebody. That makes me really happy. So check that shit out. I noticed some people are trying to contact us in chat. Join our Discord, and then that way we can keep that shit together because we're streaming.
So can we all get on the Discord?
Yeah, you can get on the Discord.
I'm on the Discord, bro.
I am not even on the Discord.
You're a fucking asshole, that's why. But you can join.
I'm a drunk too. So wait, do you have all of our episodes just on a loop?
So I have probably the last 10. I'm going to be adding some more, and it goes on a random playlist.
Oh, okay.
And it just it just plays it. So check that out. Next up, Ashtray. White House inadvertently sends Ukraine talking points to Democrats.
Yes.
What?
I don't know if you heard this, but
I don't watch the news, man. This is
with the whole Ukraine investigation now, which is only starting because President Trump basically was like, I guess it happened very shortly after the Mueller report kind of made things kind of like, and he's like, all right, get back to breaking fucking rules. Goes right to making this fucking mess. Well, to get all the Republicans on board, they sent their, spam email with the White House talking points. And, they accidentally, must have rung up the, all the Democrats, email list, enough people that they sent it out and they tried to do some sort of email recall. It's like, well, no, shit, you can't stop that nowadays.
Like when you realize you sent a text to the wrong person. You're like,
yep.
oh.
You're like, oh, shit. No. Right. Mom did not want to see that.
Oh, I got dishpan dick. Oh, fuck. Sorry, Mom.
Put some Dawn on it. All right, that's my What's Sexy.
All right. So, Teddy seems to have locked up. Are you still there, Teddy?
Yeah, but I'm here.
All right.
I'm locked up.
Video-wise, you look very concerned.
That's okay.
I thought it was just me. Okay,
Wise. Oh.
That's all right.
It was
meditating.
All right, he's back.
Oh, there it is.
There, boom.
Wow.
Look at that recovery.
Moving.
Damn, and he's fucking 5 shots deep. Holy shit.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right,
Teddy
baby.
with this hoary Daemon Ex Machina.
Okay, so Daemon Ex Machina is a mech game that's coming out for the Switch. It's kind of reminiscent of Armored Core. I'm a big mech game fan, and Armored Core is one of my favorites. And the cool thing is it's cel shaded, so it looks kind of cartoony. They came out with a controller for the Switch. The hoary Daemon Ex Machina. Yeah, it's a cool controller. One reason because for some reason it popped up to my big thing. I see. Yeah, that's the game in the background.
I'm watching the video. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, the game. That's the video in the background. For some reason it popped up on my.
Yeah,
on my,
because I
TV.
put it there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, calm down.
Fucking magic.
Right?
How do you put it on my TV? All right,
fucking magic, dude.
Magic, dude. Alien magic.
It's fucking coast to coast.
That last shot you see,
we're live.
That is it adds extra girth and size to the Switch. For a lot of adults, it's kind of hard to hold on to, or kind of uncomfortable because of the size of the controller. In this, it works with any game. It just clicks in. It's a lot bigger. It has a button on the back because the two top L and R buttons are R or L. The big ones on the bottom are kind of big. RZ or LZ at the top are really, really slender. On this controller, they're about the thickness of my finger. There's also a button on the back that you can assign to either one of those buttons at the top. For whatever game you're playing.
Can you buy a Switch that comes with this?
No, it's the controller is about $50. But it's for it only works in handheld mode, and I use mine in handheld mode exclusively. I really don't put it on the TV. So I mean, if you look at the size of the fucking from the controller on the left, which is the Oreo, and the one on the right, which is the Switch, it adds so much more size to it. And it makes it a lot more comfortable to play in handheld mode.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I always felt that the Switch was just not weighted properly. It felt like I just had this long ass tablet, and I had these little things on the end.
Little things on the side. Right. Yeah. I mean, and to play it, you have to turn it sideways. The Hories don't work in handheld mode. They only work when they're on. When they click the system.
So that's crazy. So
I'm glad I never bought
the people that made the game also made this controller?
This controller, yeah. The X button is actually the X in Daemon Ex Machina is actually a little red X. It looks and it's on the X for the controller. But I brought the controllers. I did buy the game also. Because you can play the demo on Switch if you have it to see if you like it or not.
But like I said, I'm a mech fan, so I bought the game. But these controllers, I bought the controllers mainly for the size. And it does pretty much doubles the size of your Switch because you put them together, it's almost the size of the screen. So it's crazy. But it makes it a lot more comfortable to play, and it's
it
awesome.
looks like it's more like this is how an adult should play it.
Yeah,
I have actually still never played a Switch. Have you?
I'm hoping they come out with a middle part for the Switch comes with a little thing you can click the controllers in and have it like an Xbox controller. And I'm hoping they come out that Hori comes out with something that Nintendo lets them use to do that, so I can use it and so I can put it on my TV and actually want to play it. So
right. Okay,
but mainly
that's pretty badass. It reminds me of I don't know whatever. It something about it reminds me of Game Gear, the Sega Game Gear.
Yeah. And Hori is a reputable company. They make really good fight sticks and other aftermarket controllers for consoles.
That's actually really kick-ass that they made it for their game. Like that's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a Tekken 6 fight stick. They have a lot of things that are have a lot of Hori stuff. So yeah, check it out.
All right, we're moving on to the fuck what you think portion of the show, where we bitch about something and tell you to go fuck yourself. So first up, we have Mystic and Parents.
All right, so I went to a junior high girls basketball game tonight. My daughter was playing in it.
Awkward.
Yeah, but
especially with that state warrant.
Like there were some parents there that were just fucking like, dude, you're in public. Shut the fuck up for fucking 5 minutes. Like, there's this dude like, no, go in, box out, get out. Like he's just yelling. Like
fully
dude,
engaged.
They have a coach.
Sporting.
Shut the fuck up.
Right.
I'm trying to watch this shit, man. Like holy fuck, dude.
Wait, and how old are the kids that are playing?
7th and 8th grade.
Oh, that's like 14, right?
13? Yeah, 13, 14. 12, 13, 14.
I mean,
and honestly, the game ended. It fucking ended with a buzzer beater 3.
Really? Wow.
35-34. Yeah, like
nice.
It was a really close back and forth game, but like, dude, these parents just shut down. It's like these guys that they're the dads, that I played ball. When I was in high school and my girl could do, like, shut the fuck
got my girl
up,
pregnant,
dude.
And I had to be a man. I had to step up, so I had to take care of my kids. So I put aside those dreams.
That's funny.
Yeah. And it's just like, dude, I get it, but shut up. Well, the rest of us want to watch this game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. And you're also just making the kids uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm sure they can hear their dad fucking screaming.
Yeah, God, I would hate to have.
Yeah.
To have like phone fervor dad on the side. What are you doing?
Fucking Neanderthal dad.
Like, I'm fucking up. What do you think? That's why it only took middle school basketball for me to realize sports were not for me.
All right.
Awesome.
Next up, we have Teddy. People who can't make decisions in restaurants.
Great.
Okay, so I took my son.
Yes.
We can hear you.
You didn't miss.
Yep. Go.
Awesome. So a few weeks ago, I took my son. He likes to go laser tag downtown on 2nd Avenue, and down the street from right down the street from that place is a Hooters. So I took my son to Hooters for the first time. Anytime we go to a restaurant, my son wants to sit at a bar. So we sat at the bar at Hooters, and it was pretty funny. But we had these it was 2 couples that sat to the right of us, and they couldn't. They were like, "Well, what do you have on tap?" And then they asked the bartender like, "Well, what do you like here and shit?" And I'm like, if you're an adult and have been in a restaurant before, you need to make a decision. It is not that hard to go in and like, why does it matter what the most popular thing here is? Why does that matter? Do you want to be a sheep and follow everybody else? Like, make a goddamn decision. I don't get what it is. And they're like, and then one guy turns to me, he's like, what do you have? And I'm like, why does it matter what I'm having? I was like, I don't. You're gonna get the same thing. I don't get. Like I'm with my son. He's coloring. I'm looking at titties. Just fucking order some goddamn wings and get on with it. I don't fucking understand what's going on.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah, I said, why does it matter what I'm having? Yes, I did.
Should have spit in his face.
I was high as shit. I had my little pen with me. I'd been playing laser tag for like an hour. I was pumped up. Adrenaline was going through me.
Water that I came in.
Yeah.
So if you want them, right, and protein.
But that's all. That's my fucking thing. People.
If someone asks like, "What's the favorite?" You got to make up something that's not on the menu,
right?
So what's the most popular thing?
Like the Texas Lone Star. That's the real burger.
Yeah, it's Hooters. Titties and wings are the most popular thing here. I go for the buffalo shrimp, but.
All right. Next up, we have Ashtray.